In the beginning, I feel like you always have to kind of do free work because when you're starting out, no one's going to pay you.
This week we have Matt Ellis. What would you call your style of editing?
The new age of social media filmmaking content.
Matt is a videographer, editor, and YouTuber who currently showcases the social media giants NELK and Happy Dad through his camera lens and editing skills. Dude, it's very tedious. For those small clips, you have to go through all the long clips, right?
Yeah. Then,
when you're around these guys, really quick tangent, like, do you have a hard time like keeping it together because they're so ridiculous?
I find it fun. I think that's how I would describe it.
You're so focused on other people all the time. Do you have a hard time focusing on yourself?
It's hard, especially as a videographer. You started because you're passionate about it. You got to keep that passion as do something you want to do and try new things, right?
Yeah. Before we get started, if you could do me one favor, if you received any value out of this podcast, please take the time to like and subscribe to the show. My goal is to keep growing this podcast and bring you the most creative and talented humans in the entire world. Taking the time to like, subscribe, and comment allows me just to do that. Thanks, y'all. We got Mr. Matt Ellis in the house.
It's good.
What's up, dude? Welcome.
Thank you.
This is the first time I met you in person.
I know.
Your stuff's really pretty, bro.
Thank you.
When I've watched it for a very long time, I've met your girlfriend when we went to college together, and it's very captivating, dude. Like, what would you call your style of editing?
Damn, what would I call it? I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of like the new age of social media filmmaking content, if you will.
New age of social media content. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you describe new age content?
Maybe just like fast attention grabbing.
Okay.
Things of that nature, I would say.
And how would you how did you cultivate the style that you have right now? Because if you look at it, it's very similar to like most of the stuff that you have.
Yeah, like my recent videos are similar, like a similar style.
Yeah, for like they have a very consistent look to them, and like if you are familiar with your content, like you're like, oh, that's probably Matt.
Yeah, cool. No, that's definitely my goal is to make a Relly's World image. But where usually most of my inspiration I'll get just from other filmmakers, other content creators. So it's like I follow a list of people, and I feel like when you are a creative and a creator, you kind of draw inspiration from so many different people, films or whatever, and you kind of merge that into like your own style.
Do you study it? Do you like study their styles of editing?
Yeah, I could say when you're starting, I've definitely like dove deep on influencers, filmmakers that like I really look up to and be like.
What are some of those filmmakers that you look up to?
Damn, to name some big names, when I first started. Was probably I think I started back in like 2018, like getting pretty serious about it.
Okay. That's not that long ago.
I know. Yeah. Well, my whole life I've been kind of into it, right? It's just getting my first legit camera and like being inspired to be like, oh, I want to film other people. Because when I first started, I kind of filmed myself. So I don't know if you know, like I was super into fitness when I first started everything. Yeah.
And skateboarding from what
Skateboarding. So skateboarding was the initial start.
Skateboarding people are like into filming, bro. Like they're just skating behind each other. I'm like, dang, they're in it.
Yeah, it's definitely it is weird because it is different. Like skateboarding, filmmaking versus like content creation, travel. Yeah, whatever's super popular on social media these days is definitely like a fully different style. Because skateboarding, like I didn't really care about editing too much, like flashy stuff. It's more like long form, right? It's like you're filming someone, you follow them for like 5 minutes doing a line. Yeah. And it's usually the talent is the skateboarder. Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, I feel like editing now is like a talent in itself. Like before it used to be the subject, but I feel like you could make something really boring look really cool with the right editing. Yeah. Yeah, skateboarding has like definitely its own niche of like film styles. Yeah. So you started with skateboarding or with fitness? Yeah, with skateboarding. Okay. So I did that. I was a big skate rat. What did you like about the filming aspect of skating? Damn, I think honestly, it wasn't even about the filming or the editing. Really, it was like about the tricks, right? Yeah. So it's about I obviously skateboarded myself, so I filmed my friends and they filmed me, kind of thing, and that's kind of how it started. But It wasn't necessarily about like creating a sick film, even though it was like we still did make like a yearly film where it's like all the friends, but it was more just showing the tricks. I think that I was stoked on. It's like getting a sick line. Yeah. But then there also was like the sick transitions or like sick certain things that you could put in skateboard films that I looked up to. But I definitely was much more on the skateboarding side of it than like trying to be a sick videographer.
What's the, I guess, because if it's just a sick line, there's not a lot of, you have to get the whole trick perfect, right? Like you have to get that whole run perfect. Yeah. Is that what do you mean by line?
So like a line, like like a continuous amount of tricks.
Okay. Yeah, continuous amount of tricks without fucking up.
Without fucking up. Yeah. Which takes time.
That's what I'm about to say. Like, how long would you record this line to get it like right?
I mean, myself, you could probably go a day or two, but I mean, some professionals like would come back to spots like for weeks.
Really?
Yeah. Just maybe not for a line. Maybe for like one trick they would do that for a long time. But yeah, for a line you usually just run it like. Usually, I mean, professionals would get it pretty quick. But, But myself, I don't know. You run it for like a day. You get tired. Maybe you come back and do it, but it's usually like spur of the moment.
Yeah. What type of camera were you using in, I guess, skating times?
Damn, that was a big throwback. But
cheers, brother.
Yeah, no, I gotta try this.
Yeah, we got a holiday spice old fashioned with Inspirit Bitters.
Wow.
A little dehydrated apple in there.
Wow. Good? I was waiting to take the first step.
Yeah, heck yeah.
That's good.
How do you like
Very
it?
festive.
Yeah, festive. Yeah, holiday times, right?
Yeah.
If you feel comfy, it's like
warms
it's warm. Warms it up.
That's good. But yeah, as far as cameras go, at the time, I think it was the Sony VX1000 is like an iconic skateboarding camera, and that was like the big camera at the time.
I didn't know Sony's existed back then.
Yeah,
what year was that?
That was, when was it? It was probably big, like early 2000s. I'm not sure when the camera came out, but that camera was like the holy grail of skateboarding at that time. So it was like my buddy had one of those, so we used it.
Okay.
Well, two of my buddies had it. It was just a huge popular camera that you could like buy secondhand. A lot of people would, but yeah, huge throwback because it had the mini DV tapes too. So
mini DVD tapes
or DV tapes, yeah. So it would have like little tapes inside that you run. You have to get new tapes.
Really?
And then it was an older camera, but people still used it in the newer age.
Tapes, like a reel of tapes.
Yeah.
And like how would you develop it, or how would you?
So I never did it myself, but from my understanding, you would hook up your camera with wires to, I think, to like another camera or like I forget what the process was, but basically you turn the tapes to like digital.
Okay.
And then you put it on your computer.
Similar to like film, I guess, like for film photography, but like with a tape.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's crazy how easy it is these days.
Yeah, I know. These days it's like SD card, plug it in.
Yeah, shoot. I guess what's because like a lot of people argue that like digital photography is not as artistic as film photography because like there's the editing there and versus like capturing light on a physical object and turning that into digital. Like, what would you say about that? Or is it artistic for you?
Yeah, I think, it's tough. I think film is much more artistic. Just I honestly love even though you can like not being able to see, like simplest terms, like a disposable camera.
Yeah.
I love doing that just because you can't see the photo, and I feel like it captures more of like the iconic, like, or not the iconic, but the actual moment.
Yeah.
Versus like a DSLR where you can spam the button.
Yeah.
Look back at all the photos.
What's it called? Spray?
Like,
Shoot and spray?
Spray and pray.
Spray and pray. That's what
you just fire off 30 photos.
The film camera with like the digital, I mean, not digital, the film camera with just the point and shoot small ones are big again. Like I see a lot of like Instagram girls just pulling it out real quick.
Yeah.
Boop.
It's crazy that like
it's coming back.
Yeah, we're in a time now where we have all these new cameras, and it's like even myself when I go out and film, sometimes I'll pull out, like, speaking of my old skateboarding camera, I'll pull that camera out. Yeah. Which was like it's like a digital handy cam.
Okay.
So it's still like got a hard drive in it, so it's not film or anything, but I'll still pull that out and use it.
You posted a reel about it a while ago, right?
Yeah.
On a trip. Yeah. It looks so vintage and sick, dude.
Yeah, it's just shitty quality. That's all it is. It's so
funny. Is shitty quality, but there's some association with like what we feel is like nostalgic to that type of feeling. Like when you see that grainy of a photo or that grainy of just a film, it just was like, oh, this is sick. Why do you think that is? Just because we associate it?
Yeah. See, I don't know. It's just
it is.
That is. It's like Even with photos, it's like with photos, a film camera just has like that iconic look, right? It's like the blacks are lifted a little bit. It's a little like less contrast with film grain. And nowadays everyone's adding film grain and everything to their digital cameras afterwards to make it look old, like that old film camera.
Old vintage is in right now,
legit. But I feel like it like kind of always is in. I feel like, which is weird because it's technology is going to keep going, but we're just going to keep going back to like to start.
I don't know. It's simple things are nice.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just, and it's just, I don't know. It's weird.
What did you like about skateboarding?
What did I like about it?
Yeah, my mom never let me skateboard.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like you're gonna get hurt. Skateboarding, football.
She didn't let you play football either?
No.
Damn.
No.
I never played football.
Okay.
Canadian, so I mean, football's big, but not as big.
Yeah. Yeah, not as big over there.
No.
I know a few professional football players in Canada, and like it's not as paid well as the U.S. at all, not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CFL is
I think that's what it. Yeah.
It's a different, definitely a different ballpark by a million miles.
A million miles.
Yeah. It's a whole different game. But for me, skateboarding. What was the question? Why did I?
What did you find appealing? Like, why did you like it? Like, what was so romantic about it that you kept like wanting to film about it, do learn tricks and
I guess it's just that feeling you get when you like figure something out, like learn a trick, spend like a week trying to, or sometimes like a year trying to perfect a trick, and then you finally like figure it out how to do it. Probably that feeling. I mean,
do you still mess around with the skateboard once in a while?
I have it sitting next to my door right now. It's been there for about probably like a whole year.
Oh no.
It's just hard because in LA too, like I live on Sunset Boulevard, so it's like busy street.
The iconic Sunset Strip, guys.
Yeah, the Sunset Strip. So it's like my road's a huge hill, unpaved. Yeah. If I had like a nice quiet residential road, then I'd probably bust it out and just like go skate around. But
that's so funny that it's still been there for a year, because you probably acknowledged that like, oh, I'm gonna put it in right next to my door where I feel like I could just grab it whenever, and it's still been a year.
Yeah, I know. It's a struggle. I want to get out more, but also the first 2 years I was here, I didn't have health insurance, and I was like kind of tripping out a little bit. I'm like, what if I just like
get hurt?
Yeah, break a leg, and I have to go to the hospital and pay like $20,000 or something.
What's the biggest difference between like, I guess like not necessarily the United States, but LA versus Canada?
The biggest difference,
like to you, in general? Yeah, like people wise, socially, everything like that. I haven't been. I've only been to Canada once, but I've never. It was too young to like really to take it in.
Yeah, it's similar, but it's also way different at the same time. It's like the world here, the work world, like the opportunity. It's like, especially for my job. Yeah, it's been so much different. It feels like a different world. Like here, I'm working like pretty much all the time. Like,
and
I
always feel like
I'm
you have a huge demand for it.
Yeah, there's huge demand for it, and I feel like people like you that are doing podcasts, stuff like this. Like it probably exists more in Toronto, but I'm like 30 minutes outside of Toronto. But even so, like my videography business, like it's just way different. It's like I'd be working for a small business, maybe like a coffee shop, doing things here and there. But it's like I come here, and it's like the opportunity.
Did you think what you've accomplished now, the possibilities, did you always know they existed? Because like you work with the NELK Boys, which is like one of the biggest media personalities like in the world, would you say? Pretty big, pretty big. And like did you see yourself here like in 2018? Like in the back of your head?
Yeah, in the back of my head, I think so. I think I always like kind of felt that I was going to do something like this. But the weird thing was back in, I think it was 2017, I first discovered NELK, because they're from where I'm from in Canada. Yeah. Pretty much the same area. So they ended up doing a prank like at the gym that I went to. And I was like, what the hell? Like someone's on YouTube, like doing a prank in my gym.
Oh, so you saw it live?
So no, not live. I saw them on their YouTube channel.
Okay.
It was like, I forget how I stumbled upon their channel, but it was them doing a prank at like a Good Life Fitness, which is a Canadian gym.
I know where Good Life is.
Yeah, so they're at my Good Life, and I was
it's like the fancy cursive writing on every gym machine. Yeah, I saw them live do a prank.
Really?
At UCLA. Here?
Oh shit!
When I went, it was in my class.
Oh no way!
It was no way. They would come in and they did a cake stand. Yeah, during a lecture.
Oh my goodness!
And I was like, "What? This is crazy." It really made me realize how small the world is and like how things could grow quickly, because I grew up golfing with Bryson DeChambeau. We had the same golf coach.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, and we grew up in the Central Valley together. I know you guys did a podcast. And I was like, I met your girlfriend at UCLA, right? Yeah. And then I obviously meet you right now, but then like Bryson's on their podcast, like Happy Dad. I just did another like podcast with this guy who's sponsored by Happy Dad. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like LA's so big, but I feel like it's all connected in some weird way. You know? Do you feel that?
Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah.
It is weird because it's like such a massive place. When I first came here, I was like, oh, there's no chance.
Kind of overwhelmed.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's so many like big creators and big like film people that I looked up to, and like I was like, fuck, how are you ever gonna meet these people? Like, but you like do one job or something, and you end up meeting someone that knows someone. Yeah, and then it's just like everything's there.
Everyone refers, right?
Yeah, and somehow everything feels connected for sure.
Do you think in your line of work, networking is just as important as the skill itself?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Especially, I mean, me being with a company, it still is, but like it's not like necessary. Whereas someone that was freelancing, like building those relationships and networking would definitely be like ridiculously beneficial, because that's basically how you're getting work, is through referrals and through relationships and friends. The more people you talk to, know each other. Like I feel like everyone you talk to, like say you're at the gym and you talk to someone in the sauna, it's like, oh, what do you do for work? And it's like, oh, I run a podcast. It's like, oh shit, I film podcasts. Oh, like that doesn't happen, but I feel like that type of stuff. I feel like
it definitely does happen for sure. Yeah, that's happened to me a couple times.
No, I mean, I just mean not to me. Okay. Personally, but I feel like that does happen like all the time. Yeah. Like everyone you talk to, like there's always a chance that.
Yeah. You also don't know what people do. Yeah. Like I feel like LA is so weird in the sense that like you could be one of the biggest influencers or biggest celebrities out here, and you could be just wearing like a hoodie. Yeah. Or, I don't know. I see Adam Sandler come into my bar once in a while. He eats at the pizza shop right next door. Oh, Prince Street? Yeah, Prince Street. There you go. Shout out Prince Street. Shout out Prince Street. It's really good pizza. It's really good. I don't know if you could call it pizza, though. It's like really thick.
Yeah, it's a little different for sure. Yeah, it's supposed to be like New York based, right?
New York based. Yeah, okay. It is New York based. But they're opening up all over. But it's just really good. It's really good. I don't know if you could call it pizza though.
Yeah, no, it's almost like a.
It is like a pie. It's like a pie. It's like a pizza pie. It's like savory. You know, I don't know. I've been eating way too much of it. Like they give us like a discount. Like
it's dangerous.
It's a discount. Yeah, I'm just like it's right there. Damn. And it fills you up too. Like one slice is really good, but then you're like, I don't know. Like they just opened one in Studio City. Okay. And I'm just like, on a night where I do a long run and get high a little bit, and you're like, some Prince Street pizza.
Just walk by Prince Street, all their doors are open. It's like,
Yeah. So going back to, I guess this transition from skating to fitness. Yeah. When did you get into fitness, and like, when did you start, I guess, doing videography for fitness?
Yeah. So, transition period was probably like grade 11 or 12. Okay. I think grade 11. And it was all from actually one of my good buddies, Ben. He ended up injuring his back. Okay. He had some sort of back injury, like an SI joint, something. But he ended up going to the doctor, and this was from skateboarding. He ended up going to the doctor, and they're like, oh, you got to start lifting weights, like build up your core strength.
Oh, yeah.
Like back on a little bit of muscle to like support your back and do all that. So he started working out. And then at that time, it's kind of like, your friend starts working out. It's like, all right,
I'll go with you.
I'll come with you to the gym. So we started going to the high school gym, like probably 5 days a week after school, like right after we just hit the gym.
Off the bat, from nothing to 5 days a week.
Probably not right away. I don't remember the very humble beginnings, but it was probably, we probably slowly got into it. I think we had like gym class in school, so probably did like a couple bench presses and sit-ups, but eventually we got into the routine of just going like after school.
Just you two?
Yeah, and then maybe like another buddy of ours, but for the most part, yeah. And then I started watching, like going down the rabbit hole of YouTube, like fitness YouTube.
Yeah, the Christian Guzman, Steve Cooks.
Do you know Matt Ogus?
Yeah, Matt Ogus.
Yeah, Matt Ogus was the OG. Yeah. So I started going down on that, and then started like getting a little more into nutrition, like packing on smoothies after school.
Protein shakes,
like peanut butter, milk, protein powder. And at that time, I was really skinny, so I was probably like, I don't know, I was more like a stick. Okay. So I was trying to bulk up. I was one of those, because I was a skateboarder. Like I skateboarded all day, didn't eat, that type of thing.
Like when you think of skateboarder, like you know what they look like.
They skate all day.
They skate all day.
Don't eat. Yeah. So that was basically what I was doing, and then we started lifting, and it kind of started like, I guess we got more into it, like more of a somewhat of addiction, like. Yeah. But we still skateboarded at the same time, and then we went to college. We ended up, me and my buddy Ben both went to college for firefighting.
Oh, no way. Are you technically a firefighter?
I'm certified, yeah.
That's what's up.
In the U.S., which is crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
So you could drop video editing right now and go be a firefighter if you wanted to.
I could, yeah. So I think I could with because I think I looked into it when I first moved here, and I was like, I think you just need a valid visa, and then you can apply.
Was that your backup plan?
Not backup plan, but I mean,
because you had problems with visa stuff, right? Like you needed a visa out here, and it's hard to get one in the job that you have. There's not a lot, at least from what I understand. Yeah, is that correct?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult to get one.
Yeah, as like a full-time videographer, right?
Yeah, yeah, you have to get kind of the right person or the right job to offer you one or sponsor you or something like that. Or you can there's definitely ways you can kind of like weasel your way in the system. Yeah. Through certain things, but it is very tough to get one. Okay. But yeah, going back to fitness. So
you went to college. You went for firefighting with your buddy Ben.
Yep. And while we were going to college, that's when we took lifting like super serious because we were going to school for fire. We're like, okay, like college, so we were a little more into it. Yeah. Started bulking out.
There's college for firefighting.
Yeah, so it's I guess college is different in Canada, but it's like undergraduate, or not even undergraduate. It's like it's a specialty kind of program. Like I got an advanced diploma in fire protection and engineering.
So, do you call that college?
But we call that college. But then it's university.
University, okay.
University is the
traditional
college. Okay. But in Canada,
I kind of like that.
Yeah, in Canada we have like just college, which is more specialized fields. But yeah, so we got super in fitness, and that's went deep down the YouTube rabbit hole. Like watched YouTube every morning, did cardio at like 6 a.m. Like, how bad do you want to get shredded? So we got super into it.
Were you a Stairmaster guy or treadmill guy?
Treadmill guy. I'd always do like the fat incline walks. Yeah, but
it's funny. I feel like most of the people in I would say like our generation, like that's how we learned how to work out was from like YouTube, these YouTube guys. Yeah. And like right now, my form of cardio is like I'm training for an ultra marathon on this Saturday. So I'm running like 30 miles.
Damn.
And it's just so funny because for me, what I thought was cardio, what I defined cardio as was like walking on a treadmill for an hour and a half. Now it's like totally different. Like I run the mountains of sand, all over. Yeah. And it's just funny that every person who at least I started, who trainers around here started with like the traditional, like walking on a treadmill, like doing the like push pull leg split and all these type of things.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah, for sure. It is nice living here though to be able to do that. Like go for runs on like Runyon, the canyons and all the mountains.
Pretty. If you ever want to go, dude, I know like so many trails out here now.
Yeah,
like
I might have to.
Yeah,
I've been I hopped on the Whoop, so I've been like getting really into just trying to push.
I love the Whoop, but I feel like I've been I had it for 2 years, and then I think I was just like analyzing way too much. Yeah. Like I would get stuck. I was like, fuck, like I'm not recovered enough today. I need to go to sleep right now.
Overthinking.
Versus like just living in it and like I don't know. I would think too much about it. So then I stopped.
I can see that.
And I feel like I'm a lot more mentally. It took up too much of my attention.
Yeah, that's what my girlfriend honestly has been saying, Erica, for the past like 2 weeks. She's like, "Fuck your Whoop."
It's like, just do it. Yeah, I see you've been doing the ice plunges too.
Yeah.
I love them, bro.
Yeah, my gym got one, so it was like the best thing ever.
Yeah, I don't know many gyms that have them out here.
I know, super rare.
It makes me mad because like there's gyms all over in small towns that have them. Yeah. Like in New York, I know has a lot of them. Yeah. I'm just like, why aren't they in gyms out here?
I know.
And saunas too. Like there's a lot of steam rooms. Like Equinox doesn't even have a sauna. Yeah. But saunas, they have Equinoxes in New York have saunas.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I know, it's so
what's
weird.
Up with LA?
It's like same with I went to Gold's Gym in Hollywood for a bit. Yeah. Steam room, no sauna.
Yeah.
That's all.
Do you know, what do you think of that?
I've got no idea what's up with that.
I feel like steam room's harder to clean and stuff than a sauna.
It's just like constantly wet and like, I don't know.
What does the ice plunges do for you?
Oh, this makes me feel amazing, to be honest. And also, it just like makes me feel, I don't know, it's like the best way to start the day, to be honest.
I saw you were doing them before working out.
Yeah, I started that.
It's so hard.
Yeah. I saw there was this like evidence, like Huberman always talks about. He's always like, oh, don't do it post workout.
Do it before.
Mess up your hypertrophy.
Yeah. Post workout messes up your hypertrophy. If you guys don't want to get big and just have like a very lean build and like not grow muscle, you could do it after for sure. But I forgot the science, but it's basically the feeling that you get from a bump of cocaine is like 5 minutes versus like an ice plunge is like an hour.
Yeah, the dopamine.
The dopamine effect.
Whatever,
dopamine hit. Don't quote us on that, guys.
Not a scientist, but it is amazing. Like just being able to do that all the time. It's like so good.
We did one on a trail run 2 days ago in the Bridge to Nowhere.
Okay.
And we hopped in the, I guess, river, and it was moving. And it was so cold, bro. And it was like 5 p.m. at night. There's just nature around you. You hear birds. And I was like, dang, this is different.
Yeah, that's like primal, connecting to
so
nature right there.
primal, bro. And
Where
I
is
was
that,
like,
somewhere around here?
Yeah, 40 minutes away.
Okay.
If you want to come, we'll do it next time.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. It's there was something different about it because I've never really done it that cold outside. Like the ocean, I think this was definitely colder than the ocean.
Probably.
You know?
Yeah, moving water too, like a
moving
flowing
water.
river.
Yeah, moving water. Because like if you're sitting in the ice plunge and it's not moving, apparently like there's a little like 1 inch gap that it's kind of
thermal layer.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that because mine flows like slightly, like there's like a little filter flow. But yeah, if you move your legs, move your arms, it's like oh my god.
So how did you get into the videography part of fitness?
So
you start working out like a gym bro. You're going to you're taking all these supplements.
I think it all stemmed from YouTube, fitness YouTube, because at the time,
like you wanted to be one of these guys.
Yeah, kind of, because I dove so deep on it in like 2010 to 2013. I think that was like the start of like when I started taking bodybuilding seriously. Like did a few cuts, did a few bulks. Was like, all right.
Did you ever compete?
No.
Okay.
No. I never competed, but yeah, it was just from that I started watching that, and then I got super into watching Christian Guzman, his and then his videographer Nabil. Yeah. Do you know him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched all his stuff when they were doing like their summer shredding. Yeah. And I got super inspired by like his videography, and I was like, damn, he's got like some crazy edits going on.
Yeah. And he was doing it early.
Yeah. Yeah. He was good. Yeah. He was like, I feel like he's like almost like the leader in the space, you know?
Oh,
like,
really?
The guy that always, at least in the fitness space, that did that first and like so well.
Yeah.
And then like continues to progress. Like even his stuff. Like, have you seen the recent like documentary they did?
No.
They did
Is
like
it good?
Yeah, he did like a documentary. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the actual documentary, but they did a trailer, and it was like the guy's always just pushing the boundaries for sure.
Crazy, just from a laptop.
I know, it's crazy, but yeah, it was him. I think it was him, Nabil, that like sparked my first interest in like doing fitness videography.
So how did you start? Like, there's a lot of people out there who are like, oh, I want to get into editing, I want to get into videography, but like 3-4 years later goes by, they're like, I want to get into videography, I want to get into editing, and it just never really happens. Like what's your advice to, I guess, if people were like, oh, I want to get into that, like, this is cool, it looks good, it looks dope.
Damn. So for me, it kind of like started super early, right? Because I was always already doing it with skateboarding. And I was just doing it on like a super small scale. So I was like editing on Windows Movie Maker, doing like some short form edits. Yeah. But then as it progressed and I got more into fitness, that's when I like bought an actual camera. So that was the first step, I think, was just buying my first camera. And I did it because I wanted to make the YouTube content. So I started like kind of filming myself.
Did that feel weird?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The first like couple months was pretty weird.
I did it twice. Started and I'm just like, I don't know if I could do this.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Yeah.
And then you get into the
Can you describe it? Like, why was it weird?
It's just so weird talking to a camera. Yeah. When there's no one talking back and you're talking to someone, it's like, it's a hard thing to. Yeah. It's a hard thing to do, especially in public when like if you walk by a person and you're talking to a camera, it's like it's tough to pull off. You just have to have a lot of confidence and do it for a long time.
Did you do it for a while?
Probably like a year.
Okay. That is a long time.
Yeah.
Talking to a camera.
I don't know if I did it like a year straight, but I remember at one point I was doing one video a week for like, I don't know how long. That was in Australia, actually, when I was with Annika.
Yeah. So she was studying over there, right?
Yeah. She studied there for 3 years.
Oh, was that long?
Yeah. I only lived there for 1. But
did you like Australia?
Yeah. Australia's dope. Yeah. I miss Australia. It's a pretty sick spot.
I've never.
It's like it reminds me of like a cleaner LA kind of.
Cleaner LA?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of places are cleaner than
LA. I know. It's not hard to beat.
It's getting better, though. It's getting better. Not downtown, but I remember during pandemic, there was just the riots everywhere, and there was tents everywhere. And I was thinking about getting out for a brief time because there was tanks going down Ocean Avenue, like military-grade tanks.
That's
and
wild.
I was living near UCLA, but in Santa Monica area. Yeah. And I locked myself in my apartment, dude. I was like, this is gnarly. Crazy.
I was in Canada for that, but I remember seeing like the
news,
and it was like on a street next to like where Annika was staying, and I'm like, like Melrose was like getting so messed up.
There was
like,
tanks, bro, like military grade tanks.
That's wild. I could imagine being here for that. I was like, I was living in like bumfuck Canada, like 2 hours north, like 0 people on the roads. It was like such a different different environment, looking at my phone and seeing LA. I'm like, shit.
I'm happy I'm here.
Yeah, that's different.
So why didn't you continue doing this fitness YouTube or fitness videography for yourself?
Yeah, so at the time, so once I got more into it, right, I was filming the skateboarding, and then I switched over to the fitness stuff. That's when I bought my first camera, because I was like, oh, I want to make it like legit, make it sick. And then it was after a while of doing it for myself, I realized I couldn't make like the sick, like I almost liked the editing more, and I couldn't do it with myself, because it's like, how do you film yourself?
You liked the editing more.
I liked making the montages.
Okay.
Because that's what I always did growing up, like make the skateboard montage. Through college, I started filming like partying and making like party montages,
What did you like about it?
What do you mean, the
making the montages?
Making the montages? Just I think it's just the being able to put everything together.
Yeah.
Make a sick short video.
Yeah.
And then be able to, like, the weird thing is that like when I was doing it, there wasn't a lot of social media. I think it was just Facebook I was posting to. But I still like love the feeling of creating something and then putting it out there and like seeing what happened,
How did you overcome the fear? Because there's a lot of people out there who love doing their craft or artwork or whatever it is, and they're afraid of putting it out, or they're afraid of recording themselves on the camera, and they're like, oh, this isn't that good, I'm not going to put it out. Like, how did you overcome that fear of just like putting your work out into the world for it to be judged?
No, that is tough, honestly. That's something I kind of deal with right now too, is just like, especially once you get even farther into it, aside from just starting, it's like you get almost like perfectionism or whatever, where like you want like your video to be great, and if you want to go out and film something, it's like, oh, I don't want to post that, like it's just not the best. Like I have a lot of footage that I just haven't put out, and I feel like that's a big problem. It's like you got to just, because back then I was much more like kind of like I don't care what people think as much. Sure. But it's definitely changed for me. I don't know why that has been. But I
mean, you have a large audience that your work is being shown to, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that. I think it's that. It's like you want to do the best for all these cool people seeing it, right?
Yeah. That's it for sure. But when I was starting, advice for starting, it was just kind of like, the not giving a shit attitude. Like
zero fucks.
Yeah, zero fucks. Like, especially if you're vlogging, like I got to a point where you just walk outside, vlog everything, film everything, upload it. Now when I look back, it's like pretty cringe, like seeing some things. I'm like,
sure,
it's a little cringe, but you get better over time.
That's a really good mentality to have, though, because like so many people are afraid to do it.
It is hard to get past that and to post, but I feel like you kind of just have to, because that's how you start. You literally have to learn. You literally just have to make that first video. Yeah. And then like commit it to the second one, and then just keep going.
I hired a editor for the podcast, and I tried doing it myself, but dude, it's very tedious. Like doing it, I didn't realize how intricate it is. Like you have to listen, like for those small clips, you have to go through all the long clips, right? Yeah. So you're just watching shit for a long time, and nothing's happening, bro. Yeah. I'm just like, this is so shitty.
There's so many different kinds of editing, right? So it's like there's long form stuff like that. That's just like clipping long form stuff.
No, too short to make it short form though, right?
Yeah. Like clipping a long form podcast into bite-sized social media pieces. Yeah. It's like that can be an absolute headache. Yeah. But then there's so many different things, right? Making a sick montage, that's where you can get like immersed and like be loving it, because it's like
so entertaining for you too.
More entertaining to like grab a sick song, grab a bunch of sick sound effects, sick footage, mash it all together. Yeah. And then post that for the world to be seen.
It's but yeah, the skill of it. Also, each tiny step, I would get annoyed. Like I would see a YouTube videographer explain, for example, like how to do syncing with audio with the transition and this and that, and then I'd do exactly what he would do, and it would not come out the same result, and it would piss me off so much. Did you have like, I guess, learning through all these things, like were you pretty good at like picking up things quickly, or did you have like some of those instances where like, this is not working?
Definitely had those instances. I feel like those are kind of like inevitable to happen. I mean, it's gonna happen if you're trying to learn something new, but for me, it's just like, I don't know. It's tough. Yeah. But, you just gotta do it. I feel like you kind of have to be like a little bit of a computer nerd because like you're.
Are you an organization king, bro?
No. With my footage and stuff, a little bit, yes. Okay. But in like regular life, not as much. Okay. It's just because I'm comparing myself to my girlfriend, who's like, Annika, she's like, she kind of keeps my life organized. Like she's everything's
if you
super
have
dialed.
the chance to meet Annika, she's I don't know if it's OCD because I don't know. She's very particular.
Yeah.
She's good at it.
Yes. She like knows what she wants and how it's going to be done, and that's how it's
There's
done.
definitely a market for that too. Like I feel like if she ever wanted to do anything in terms of just like organizing people's life, it's very satisfying.
Yeah.
Because she just documents that stuff too.
She honestly has thought about that before. She's like, what if I start like an organizing business where like I go to someone's house,
guarantee it would
get
sell.
these bins and just clean out their garage.
She
and
has to
organize
love it because
she does like it. Yeah. I think she loves that like feeling of satisfaction where it's like something's a total mess.
Yeah.
She just
Yeah.
cleans the shit out of it.
I feel like the videography and stuff, I've gotten way more organized because, I don't know, you just see a blob of videos and photos. I'm just like, where do you start?
Yeah, you have to be. I guess I am with footage because like if you are doing, especially for like a podcast or for like even like a documentary, that type of shit is like next level. You have to be super, super dialed on your organization.
What has working with NELK done for you in terms of testing your skills?
I think it's just made me like a much broader like creator.
Yeah.
Because before I was kind of just doing like you kind of find what you like and you kind of follow that and pursue that. So like at the time I was doing a lot of like smaller business, just like promotional videos.
Yeah.
Cool montages, like interviews, maybe some sports stuff. But working with like NELK and Happy Dad, now I'm doing a lot of the Happy Dad stuff. I'm doing so much more stuff that I necessarily wouldn't do, like branding, like finding the brand and like establishing our look, and then like building website photos and doing like all that back end stuff that like I wouldn't normally do.
Which is probably very beneficial and knowledgeable to you just if you want to ever start anything on your own.
Of course, yeah. So it's like expanding my knowledge.
Did you do the commercial with the Happy Dad can and the girl in the bed? Did you do that one?
I shot that one, yeah.
Okay, so we're good friends with Alexa Dowd, the girl. That's her.
Okay.
That's her.
Okay.
It's just back to small world stuff. I was
funny.
like, this is crazy.
You look and she's just in bed in lingerie with a can.
Yes. And I was like, how did you book that? And then like obviously I knew of you. And then like, I don't know, the whole world, I'm just like, this is crazy.
Yeah. So I forget. I think Kyle came up with that idea.
Concept?
Yeah. And then
Are they pretty creative?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle's kind of like the mastermind a little bit behind like all his ideas for NELK and Full Send.
What's his creative process like?
I mean,
you're part of it.
Yeah, and I am a part of it, but it's usually behind closed doors. When he's at home, I'm sure he just comes up with ideas like crazy.
Really? So it's not like together. It's like he does a lot of it solo.
A lot of it on his own, yeah.
Really?
So, well, we have group chats or whatever when we discuss things, but like usually it's like whoever has an idea will come up and say the idea.
Yeah.
But,
how did you guys meet?
Me and Kyle?
Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah, it was actually a email. An email. So it was like.
Was it like an influencer just like we're looking for videographers?
Yeah. I think it was 2020, maybe
Okay.
like January, or it was before COVID, so maybe it was 2019. I think the NELK page posted like looking for a videographer, send through your portfolio, email us at this email. So I did it, and then I kind of also explained like I'm from where you're from. Like I'm from Burlington, GTA.
Everyone always relates to like that's my hometown.
I try to relate. Yeah, I'm like I'm from Burlington, and I'm also currently actively trying to move to LA.
Yeah.
Like, and I know you guys are in LA. Like I'm trying to make the move right now. My girlfriend's already there.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to visit next month. So I think that was like, because I feel like whenever you reach out like that, you kind of need to like stand out, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone's gonna apply and be like, here's my portfolio, and it's all like the same shit.
Yeah.
So I kind of used like the hometown advantage. Like, oh, I'm from where you're from. I'm moving to LA.
Yeah.
I'm already moving here.
Sure.
Trying to, but like I need the visa. I need the job.
Oh, you put that there. You said all that.
Pretty much. I said like I'm already traveling. Like I'm already visiting for months at a time. So I'll be there next month if you guys want to like do anything. But I just need I'm looking for a job.
Yeah.
And then they hit me back and they were like, yeah, your work's sick. We'll be in touch or something like that. And then Kyle followed me on Instagram, and then how to go down after that. I think he followed me on Instagram, and then I think COVID happened like right after that. So I think COVID happened. It was
Kind of chilled out probably, right?
Yeah. So we didn't talk for probably like 4 months. Time went by, and then he was like, yo, Brad Martin's coming to Canada with us. And we're going to film like a gym video. Like, do you want to help us?
Yeah.
Because at the time I was doing all fitness stuff for the most part. So they knew like you do fitness. We're coming up to do fitness, so let's film.
That's hilarious. I had Bradley's first videographer on the podcast too. Kevin Lowe. Do you know who Kevin is?
Kevin Lowe. Oh yeah.
Asian ripped guy.
Yeah. Taller Asian.
Yeah.
Trainer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like the OG.
OG, bro.
I followed Brad a long time. I think I followed Brad before NELK and everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was in the fitness OG fitness space.
I met him at Zoo Culture when it first opened, the very first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
It's crazy.
Is he cool, dude?
Great guy.
Yeah.
Nicest guy.
He always seemed kind of pretty jokes like behind the camera, and then he'd always do the random fitness shit too.
He's quiet, but he's I don't know. He's kind of out of fitness space. He loves cars. He has a Lamborghini, and he's just in car clubs and like all these
little brand switch up.
Yeah, little brand switch up. Yeah,
nice.
He's I don't know. I don't know if it's like an influencer or you want to call it. I don't really know what he does. He was just talking about it.
Yeah,
but it's crazy how videography could. Especially at that time, there was so little of you guys that people were looking for it. Yeah. And they would just take chances. Like, did you ever work for free for a little bit just to see like if you guys would like go be with compatible? No, with anybody.
Yeah, I've done free work before. As far as like
in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning, I feel like you always have to kind of do free work just to like build that portfolio and be like, because when you're starting out, no one's gonna pay you if you're, and also you're like super passionate when you're first starting. You're like, I just want to make a sick video. Like, someone hire me. Yeah.
The reason why I say that is because like. Beginning as a personal trainer, I trained so many people for free. Yeah. Just to show that like, hey, this is what I do. Hopefully, like if you like it, can you please tell other people about me?
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely a necessary step with most things. It's it's almost like a networking step too. That's how you meet people without them like being like, here's money.
Yeah. So Kyle eventually hit you up.
Yeah, he hit me up, and then COVID happened. So we didn't talk for a little bit. That Brad Martin thing happened, but then that flopped. So I was like, oh shit, they're not coming now. And he was like, all right. And then like 4 months went by again. At the time I was in Canada, just like chilling up north, literally playing Call of Duty and like eating ice cream. Like I think got like out of shape. It was like peak COVID. I just didn't care, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, you're shredded right now, dude.
Yeah,
I've been
getting after it. I haven't even been trying really, to be honest, with like diet and stuff. It's been like eating less, but and working out more. I guess that's
eat less, move more, guys. That's the formula.
I guess that is trying. But I haven't been tracking anything. But yeah, so at that time, months went by, and then Kyle hit me up in August of 2020. I think it was August. I was up north actually at my girlfriend's brother's house in the Muskokas of Canada, which is like cottage country, like cabins on lakes, and we were just like, I forget what it was. I think it was a birthday party or some event. And he's like, yo, can you hop on a FaceTime? And I was like,
yeah.
All right. So I like go in the house with Annika, and I like hop on this FaceTime, and he's like, yo, like, we're going on a road trip from California to New York, like driving across the whole States. Can you be here in 2 days and film like a behind the scenes for us? And I was like, 2 days notice. I was like, yeah. So we like agreed on a bunch of stuff, and then I was like, okay, let's we'll figure it out. Let's do it.
How was that experience?
So that was pretty crazy. That was like my first dive in. So what I did was
just the road trip in itself, though.
The road trip was nuts. we'll get to the road trip. That was a crazy road trip to start the job, but at the time I had like a bunch of clients in Canada because I had like random editing jobs and like other things I was finishing up. So I basically had to like cancel pretty much everything, or like I was still like all the editing I brought with me, and just like kind of like snuck it in on the road, like editing other clients.
That must have been tough.
But it was tough, because I had all these clients in Canada, and I was like,
how many are you talking about?
Outstanding work. It was probably like, I don't know, probably like 5 projects that were just like outstanding. And like, I like had shoots lined up. Like a real estate client was doing like construction on houses, and I was like filming the transformation of all the houses. Sure. And I just had to be like, sorry, like I got an opportunity and I'm moving to LA in 2 days. So at that point, so they started the road trip without me because I was like a little bit late. Like I was a day late. So I flew into Oregon, and crossing the border, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to a job interview. And like their manager sent me like an email for like a job interview thing, because it's still kind of sus, like crossing the border.
Oh, for sure.
To go for work kind of, but like it wasn't work. It was still like visiting because I wasn't being paid or anything. Yeah. So flew into Oregon, met them there, and then we started the road trip, and it was like, I forget where we stopped exactly, but the one that stands out was like the Lake of Ozarks. Oh. So we went to like all these crazy spots. Yeah. And Lake of
What
Ozarks.
was the reasoning for the road trip? Just cause?
Yeah, it was just like a content trip. Yeah, it was like COVID was happening. So I think NELK got into like some bunch of random trouble.
Yeah.
Because they were like,
I saw the police one.
Yeah, they were like one of the only channels that was like still pushing content during COVID and like traveling, and like people were like frowning upon it. And I was like right in the middle of it. My parents are like, be safe out there. And I'm like, rip into a house party, beat COVID. I'm like, shit. So that was a little sketchy, but it was a good time. It was like pretty much just like a content bender, party bender.
Because they go hard.
Yeah, they go pretty hard.
Yeah.
But it's like hard partying, but also hard work. Like,
how
people
so?
don't see that. Like, there's a lot of planning. Like, when I first showed up, I did not expect the team to be like as big as it was. Like, behind the scenes, there was like 4 assistants.
Oh.
They had like production meetings in the backyard, and I rolled in as like I didn't have that much knowledge of them.
Yeah.
Like, I followed them, but not like religiously. So it wasn't like a huge.
So I haven't followed them for like lately. I've known their like prank videos in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, how would you describe NELK today? Like, obviously they're not just a prank channel. Like, they have, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, how would you describe them?
Damn. So it's grown like pretty crazy over the last
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years, even the last like 2. Yeah, so when I started, it was just pretty much full send clothing, merch, and the NELK channel, and that was like mainly pranks, lifestyle, partying, and then
so full send was just clothing at the time.
Full send was just clothing, and then there was like subscription website, like a fullsend.com for members, where it was just like behind the scenes type of stuff.
Yeah,
monthly fee, that kind of thing. But yeah, it was pretty much like the whole.
And what type of content was on there?
That was more behind the scenes. So we tried to. I think I originally was maybe hired for that because that's like more. It was more raw, uncut, like deleted scenes, things like that. Just like diehard fans that wanted to see more of like the lifestyle. Like we would.
NELK fans are like diehard, dude. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, they built like a.
It's like a cult following.
A loyal audience, yeah. And it still is today. So it's like,
Prime is big too. Like in the Paul brothers.
I feel like the creator brands are just like, so booming nowadays.
They're taking over. Yeah,
it is a weird,
traditional media.
Yeah, it's a weird change in like the world that's happening, where it's like all the super huge influencers are creating brands that now have such a big name behind them. You know.
Yeah.
It's like almost more popular than like
normal.
A Kit Kat bar. Like a kid's gonna go buy a Feastables from Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
You know. Instead of like a normal Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And then Max Tuning do you know Max Tuning, right?
Yeah, sour strips.
Sour strips, which is like...
They're actually really good. The product's really good, though.
Which is a cool thing, because like you don't see an influencer candy brand, really.
Yeah, he just loves candy. Like, I think Max was I watched his channel the most of anybody. He's just entertaining.
Yeah, entertaining dude.
Yeah, he's just funny.
Yeah.
But then deadlifted like 600 pounds.
Yeah.
And I was like...
it's like you need that personality, but then you need to back it up with something.
But he also doesn't look extremely big.
He's just a massive power lifter.
Yeah.
Well, small power lifter.
Small, massive power lifter. Yeah.
Lifting the heaviest weights.
Yeah. Crazy. So you finished this. Well, tell me about this road trip, bro. Like, what did you guys do?
We're getting off topic.
Yeah.
So the road trip was basically just like, so I was super surprised by their team and like by all the planning. So right when I got there was like the first Bigfoot video. You ever see the Bigfoot videos?
No.
So it was a Bigfoot prank where like, so I literally rolled into this first day. I go to the house and they're in the backyard.
I think I saw someone in a costume.
Yeah. And it was a Bigfoot costume.
Who was in the costume?
The first time was one of our assistants.
Oh, okay.
Jazz. They just threw him in there. But what they did is they found all the Bigfoot experts.
Oh, this is planned out to a T.
Yeah, they researched all the Bigfoot experts in Oregon, which is like a big, I think a big Bigfoot spot.
Yeah.
And then I think they kind of interviewed each of them, or like did some research on them to see like actually who's like a diehard, like serious Bigfoot hunter. And then we found a guy, and then we literally pull up in a huge Sprinter, plan all this shit out. They buy like I don't know how expensive big Bigfoot costume. We get all the art department gets all our gear, like boots, full outdoors, like hunting clothes and all this shit. So there's like 10 of us decked out. If you watch this video, it's a pretty funny video. It's the first Bigfoot video. And it was like my first ever shoot with them. And I pull up to this and we go to this guy's house.
Is this on the road trip or no?
Yeah. So this is in Oregon. It's like the first stop.
And it's just like a creative, like they just thought of this.
Yeah. So that's what I mean by like work hard, play hard. Like they party hard, but then during the day they'll be planning shit all day and like it's nonstop like planning videos and planning ahead and like yeah, so it's not like they just like sit around. And,
so it's very similar to like how Mr. Beast plans stuff out. Like it's
there's like
written out.
Assistants behind the scenes. Like assistants are calling people, figuring things out. They're ordering clothes, ordering costumes. But this Bigfoot video, so they did it. They went to the guy's house and then they basically just like tell him like, oh, like, do you have any spots around that are hot, like that you've like you can feel them, and then that's where we planted our Bigfoot in the bushes.
Yeah.
And then we went out with him, like walked around his backyard, like looked around. He's like telling us all this bullshit. Do you know Salim too?
No, I know. I mean, I know of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Salim,
he's funny.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. He was Rafiki in this one, which is like his like known character.
Okay.
But so he was like pretending to be deaf the whole time. That's like his character is just like deaf, and he's just like screaming and like doing all this obnoxious shit. And then
when you're around these guys, real quick tangent, like, do you have a hard time like keeping it together because they're so ridiculous?
There's certain moments, moments where that are tough, but
because you seem so calm and collected, bro, and you're just holding the camera, and like if there's just some wild stuff in front of the camera, like, are you just?
I try. I think at the moment too, I try to be so serious because I'm like, I know I'm being filmed too, and like I have to be in camera or in character.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying my hardest to be in character too, like acting surprised. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, shit.
Like, do you hold it together pretty well?
Yeah, I held it together pretty well. There's a couple times where like I would see like my buddy Austin like laugh, or like someone else laughing because like they do some crazy shit, and I'll be like, you just have to turn your back and kind of like walk away.
Kyle does a couple things that he just stays in the character the entire time.
Kyle's so good at like,
and I'm just like
really quick, witty, like,
well, it's like
funny shit in the moment.
It's kind of borderline. I don't know, the sneeze one and a couple other things. I'm just like, I don't know if I could get myself to do that, bro. Like, that's very like,
that shit's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It takes some balls to do that shit, dude.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
I've seen them do some crazy shit where I'm just like, I'm happy I'm behind the camera, like hiding right now behind a tree, because but I guess once you do it for like 3 years, it's like, or 10 years, for Kyle's sake, then you get pretty used to it. But still, he's definitely mastered it. Yeah, when he gets in character, it's like, it's hilarious.
It's do you feel like you're filming an actor at that point?
Yeah.
Kind of a movie?
Yeah. Not as like serious, but yeah. It's almost like just a second version of him. It's like the trolling version. He's just like so good at like keeping a straight face. But,
So you do the Bigfoot scene, and this guy, does he trip out?
Yeah. So he trips out, and then like our Bigfoot's like running around in the bushes. And I think we did it a few times. I think we did 2 Bigfoot videos.
Okay.
Or maybe 3. Maybe just 2. But yeah, this first one was pretty good. And then it's like, it's just an awkward ending. It's like he sees the Bigfoot, and then we like all kind of run away. But then he like walks up to it. Our Bigfoot tries to like escape, but I think he found out and like saw it way closer. And then I don't know if he like touched him or anything, but I think he knew it was fake, and then got pissed at us because we just came to his house, like pretended we were like shooting documentary shit, fucked with all of his things. Yeah. Like at one point they were on his roof like screaming, like channeling the inner Bigfoot vibes, but. I would feel so bad, bro. I know. We that's the thing, is like you always feel so bad. Usually they, at the end of something like that, they would like give him money. Yeah. Be like, here's some cash. Like, sorry, we fucked with you. Yeah. But there's a few of them where we just like get out of there, like hop in a Sprinter, and it's just like. And they just dip. Yeah. And then we'll send an assistant back to like talk to them. But,
is there any legalization when it comes to that, or no?
Like illegal things, you mean?
No, in terms of like, is that illegal?
Yeah. Is that illegal?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Just fucking with people, though?
Yeah, just fucking with them a little bit. Just a little bit of trolling, just like, you know. But, that was fun. That was a good start, because that was like my very first job.
Did you party hard before hanging out with them?
I did in college. Yeah. And then, I don't know, like normal amount after that.
Because like you've been around like some mega parties probably recently. Yeah. And just when it comes to like UFC shit or all that stuff. And I've been around it a few times because I used to work for Tao Group. Okay. And they throw like big ragers everywhere. And I know like I personal train a lot of the promoters and like a couple big Vegas guys. And it's a different world, bro. It's like these $20,000, $30,000 tables and bottle service. Like if you've never really experienced it, it's kind of crazy. Yeah. Right. And so were you shocked by it at all? Do you enjoy being in these scenes, like recording everything? Is it entertaining?
It is 100%. Fun? It is 100% a different world.
Yeah.
Did you do that in Vegas or here?
I did it at Lavo.
That's here, right?
Yeah. And then floor room, right there's where the club is. Yeah. But I was always invited to like Tao Halloween.
Yeah.
And Marshmallow was playing. I was at a table sitting next to G-Eazy and Wiz Khalifa, bro. I was just like, like, where am I right now?
Yeah. It is crazy. It's like a whole different world.
And dude, you just posted a photo with like UFC champ Colby, and then you're with Justin Gaethje, like all this stuff. Like,
it is weird.
Is it surreal to you? Like,
it is surreal, yeah. Like, but I feel like I always have to like kind of snap myself out of it sometimes, because like I do get used to it.
Yeah.
Like where it's just like, oh, another trip. Like we're going to Vegas to hang out with Sugar Sean and chill with all these like famous people.
Yeah.
And I do have to kind of be like more grateful, like snap in and be like, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of appreciate where we're at.
I feel like it's so cool. I mean, it's just another normal day for you, and you get the ability to be around them.
Yeah, I just try to be more grateful sometimes, because it does get like repetitive where it's like, oh, we're going to another pool party, but it's like, you know. But now it is dope because a lot of these guys are so nice. It's like they're literally like Colby just feels like a friend. Like I met him and was like chilling with him all day, and he's just like such a nice dude. Yeah, behind the scenes, but then.
He has like a character too.
Yeah, he's got a big character that a lot of people don't like. But
a lot of people don't like that character.
Yeah, but no, he's actually a super nice dude behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think it is. I find it fun. I think that's how I would describe it.
What was the biggest thing that you've learned from being around so many, I guess, socially followed people in the world?
Yeah. Biggest thing I've learned?
Yeah. Like, or have you learned anything?
Yeah. I mean, nothing I can think off the top of my head that's like a big like life lesson. Like maybe just to like be grateful where you are in the spot you are, because like I mean I could just not do that tomorrow, you know. I could just like get fired or like leave my job and then just not have any of this. So I try to stay present, and that's the biggest thing. It's like to stay present and be grateful for the moments. But
how do you stay present in, I guess, those moments?
Yeah, it's hard, especially as a videographer. Yeah, because I'm always like literally in the screens, like I'm filming, phone out.
Well, because I guess your job is basically to document other people's
pretty much
things.
Yeah, and lately I've been doing a lot of like when I am with these people trying to do like more documentary, like filming long form stuff, just for like future to have. Is
it hard for you to enjoy, I guess, yourself, because you're so focused on other people all the time? Like, do you have a hard time focusing on yourself in that aspect?
In the sense of like, I don't know. I try to treat it lately, like the last year. Like I don't even drink really on these trips at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I didn't drink like probably for like 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Or something like that. So
That's
I go
impressive.
to all these events sober.
That's impressive.
I'd be out to nightclubs at 4 or 5 a.m. sober. But it's because I enjoy what I do. So it's like lately I've been treating it more like work. Yeah. Like it is
so
very.
You're kind of a ghost type of deal, and you're just filming everything.
Yeah. But then I'm still like having a great time. Yeah. You know, it's still easy to have a good time. Like my bosses are all super chill, where it's like you can put the camera down, like just chill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So it's not, because it's like it gets repetitive when you go to a nightclub and you're there night after night, and then it's like you're there for 4 hours. You know, you can only shoot so much.
Yeah. What do you call it? Do they get bored of it? Because I get bored of it a lot. Like I remember when I first moved out to LA, and I'd go almost every weekend because I had the connects out here and stuff like that. Yeah. And I just never want to go out. Like I'll go home and I'm like, I'd rather play my guitar, read a book, and maybe get high and do some editing myself. Like that's it. Like that sounds like a good night to me now. Versus before, I'd always have like fear of missing out, all these big things. I'm like, I got like joy of missing out now. You know?
Yeah. No, I'm the same, to be honest. Yeah. I think the thing I like is that since this is my work, and then I'm not like drinking and going crazy, I'm more like focused on, because now it's like we do so many of these events that I have to try to like be more creative, or like do one up myself every time, right? Because I'm making so many of these videos, like weekend after weekend, going to Vegas, that I like try to make each one better, or like do something different, you know? Yeah. Because it's so easy to go out every weekend and just like film everyone having a good time, like get drunk yourself and be like, all right, like I could do that, but it's like I just want to keep my passion alive for the filming and for the shooting. So it's like that's one way of doing it.
How do you, I guess, keep getting better at the craft that you're doing right now? Like how do you, because like at the end of the day, like if you put out the same quality of stuff right now and the same things, like you're doing the job. You know, you don't need to get better technically. Like everything that you're doing right now is like doing well enough for the job itself. Like how do you stay motivated to keep getting better, change it up, like stick with it?
I feel like that is a hard thing for some people, because when you do get to a point, like I remember when I was first learning, it's like you kind of like, I remember going to bed like watching tutorials. Like I put a playlist on YouTube and like fall asleep in
just
bed.
Go through it.
Yeah. I think at the time Annika was in LA and I was in Canada. So like we were living separate. So it was like really easy for me to like edit all night and then be like, I literally put on my TV a playlist of like editing tutorials.
Yeah.
And just fall asleep to like watching editing tutorials, which is like probably the weirdest thing or like not fun thing to do. But at the time it was like,
I don't know what's weirdest, bro. People be like obsessed with ASMR, like food stuff and
people
like
fall asleep to like
weird stuff.
Girls
bro.
whispering in your ears.
Yes. Well, and like just like, do you get that? Do you get the whole ASMR thing? I don't understand it.
I don't really, it pops up sometimes and I listen to it and I'm like,
but millions of people are obsessed with it.
Yeah, I know. I could see that.
So I get it. I have a buddy who very delightful gay man, and he has the most manly extreme. I can't even
super deep voice.
Super deep voice, but it's very like intriguing, and he makes most of his living doing like sexy talk podcasts, like for this guy who writes scripts, but he's talking dirty, right, real dirty, and like that's what he does for a living. Like makes a lot of money doing it. Like.
Wow.
Millions of people just listening to his voice, just talking dirty to him.
Wow, that's that's crazy. There's some weird shit out there.
There's weird jobs now.
There's a lot of stuff that like you just don't know about.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's out there.
Do you know who?
Just taking.
Let's go back to that question real quick about like how do you stay hungry?
How do I do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I started, that's what I did to initially learn, because like it is when you're first learning a program, it's like there's always new things to like figure out, how to do the best.
You Premiere guy?
Yeah, I'm a Premiere guy right now, but I also use DaVinci.
Okay.
Have you tried DaVinci?
No, just Premiere.
DaVinci's dope because it's free.
Okay.
The non-studio version, but then there's a studio version, which is like a $300 payment one time.
Oh.
Whereas Adobe's like $50 a month or $80 a month or whatever it is.
Yeah, before it used to be one-time fee. Now it's not.
Yeah, Adobe subscription is kind of what sucks.
It sucks,
but it's a great program. Premiere, Lightroom, Photoshop, it's got everything. So it's like it's hard to.
If you're gonna do it full time,
hard to pass.
I barely use it, and I'm paying it.
Yeah,
so
that's why DaVinci's dope, and it's also super powerful.
Okay,
color grading's dope.
Ooh,
but back to the question. So when I was first learning, that's what I did, and that's kind of how I like got my base knowledge of the program. But yeah, once you get to that point, that's where it's like hard. It's like how do you keep learning? Because like I'm not hungry to like I'm busy now, right? So it's like I'm working all the time. It's like I'm not going to stop and be like, here's a tutorial on. You're not fall asleep watching.
You're not hungry for work right now.
Exactly.
You're not hungry for food or paying. Like there's a ton of starving artist editors out there. You know,
it's like how do I get better so I can get those jobs? But I think the one way to stay hungry and like continue learning is to do things. At least for me, is to do things for myself, like aside from work. So it's one thing I've been trying to do a lot, but hasn't been happening.
What are some of those things though?
But it's shooting like passion projects, like spec projects. So like a fake commercial, if you will, like not paid, not sponsored, but like just getting, say like you're in Inspirit Bitters. Yeah. Making a commercial and like trying new things
just for fun,
like a strictly no money involved. That's definitely, I would say, the best way to continue to learn, because that is what like creative, because that's why you started, right? You started because you're passionate about it, and like you got to keep that passion, is do something you want to do and try new things, right? So I feel like that's probably the number one way. That's what I try to do at least.
What's your creative process like in terms of, because anyone could learn how to edit, right? You just press buttons on keyboard and you make it look cool.
Yep.
What's the creativity to that?
Creativity. The crazy thing to me is that anyone can have like the same footage and like the same song, but it'll come out completely different. Yeah. That's like one thing I've wanted to try before, is like get like 3 editors, be like, here's your footage, here's your
song,
here's your song, here's your effects, whatever. You guys have to use the same shit. And then it all looks different. So that's one dope thing, I think, is just like it's a free for all. Like
what makes a good edit to you?
What makes a good edit?
Yeah.
I think it just has to be visually appealing. The sound has to match the audio. That's a big thing. It's like if you have great sound design, like if you watch a video that's just a song with like cuts on it, it'll be like, all right, it's kind of boring. But then you watch like a car video, and then all of a sudden there's like massive sound effects, like gears shifting and dirt flying.
Is all those sounds and stuff, is that the real audio, or is it
Usually
a lot of time not?
A lot of time not, yeah.
Okay.
So it's all added like sound.
Really?
Which is crazy, yeah. So it adds like a much deeper element, which like immerses you into the edit. And I think that's what makes a good edit, is when like, you know, you can kind of immerse yourself and get lost and be like, shit's so real.
Technology is crazy these days because you could, I don't know, with AI or anything like that, like car sound, boom, got it. Like flute sound, boom, got it. Like they have every sound and every aspect out there.
Yeah, but there is a level where you get to, and it's like cheap sounds versus like, damn, this guy's a professional sound mixer, audio guy.
What makes it? What's the difference between a good editor and a great editor?
Probably storytelling. I would say, yeah.
Okay.
Being able to take the footage and kind of like build a story around it versus just like making a sick montage. You know, there's I feel like that's one thing in editing that you kind of have to continue to get better at. I know I have to get better at. Is storytelling, because that's like literally how you get immersed into an edit, how you get lost in an edit. And I feel like being a good editor, you know, you can chop up like a skateboard montage and be like, oh, it's a sick edit.
Yeah.
But then a great editor will like, it'll be like a feature film that you'll be lost in and have like get emotional about, you know?
Yeah. That's how I definitely feel about some of Nabil's stuff.
Yeah. I feel like emotion is like the biggest thing.
Emotion's the biggest
thing. If you can bring emotion to someone and be like, whoa, this hits. Like that's a great editor.
What does making things do for you? What does creating things out of nothing, these snips that are just like random here and there, and you tell a story of it, you make it creative, like what does it do for you? Like no money, regardless of money, regardless of whatever, what does it do for you?
I don't know. I feel like I just feel fulfilled for some reason. Like once I make an edit and just like put it out there and like I could rewatch, like I know every editor relates to this, is like you can rewatch your edit. Like when you make a sick video that you're proud of, you can watch it like 1,000 times. Especially because in the editing process, you've already watched it so many times. Yeah. But afterwards, even when you make a great edit, it's like, wow, I could probably watch this a couple times.
What gets you through the boring part of the editing? Because I think that's one part where I kind of just ditch it. Like I'm 2 hours in and I've watched myself talk on a podcast and I was like, this is so boring right now.
You've probably done that a lot, right?
In the beginning part, I mean, when I edited myself, you know?
Yeah. So I find it's just part of the process now. It's like, that's the one part that sucks that you just have to do right away.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, I organize all my footage, get everything organized, put all the raw footage in one timeline, and then I just chop through. So I just go through. Yeah, it depends on the video.
Do you time block? Like I'm gonna work 3 hours here, stop, go for a hike. No. Just like
that's one thing I'm kind of bad at is that like I will get distracted and be like sitting there for a while. Yeah. But then inspiration or like focus hits at like 11 p.m. I feel like a lot of editors can relate to that. That's one thing I've been trying to like not do, is do like the overnight edits. Because you see that so much in like the editing world where it's like, oh, I pulled an all-nighter tonight. Yeah. And now, since I'm so big with fitness.
Have you done that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really shitty too. Like I've done it a few times where like the video doesn't even come out. So I'm just up to.
What do you mean it doesn't come out?
Like it never gets posted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like you miss it.
Yeah. Or, well, it's not for me, right? It'd be for work. So if say I was like making a Happy Dad edit and be like, fuck, it needs to be done. Like I need to get this done. So I stay up till 5 or 6 a.m.
But they don't even use it.
But it never gets used.
Stop!
That's happened a lot of times.
Really?
Yeah. Not a lot of times, but like it does happen because we do so many events. And at one point I was just doing all the event recaps.
Yeah.
And sometimes like if 3 days goes by after the event, usually they want a quick turnaround, right? Because if there's a weekend event, it's like you want to post it Monday or Tuesday, like sick weekend.
Yeah.
But there's been a few times where it's like Wednesday or like Thursday. I'm like, shit, like I need to get, like if I'm going to do this video, like I know they're going to be asking, I need to get it done tonight. So I just stay up all night.
Do you get mad when it's not used?
I did kind of, but like now it's to a point where.
Because it's not per project, right? It's probably, salary, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of just like part of the job, you know? It's annoying. It's like I just fucked up my circadian rhythm for nothing, but.
Yeah. Come on, Whoop.
Yeah, I know. Whoop's like, oh, you got a 1% recovery. Let's go.
What does fitness do for you, dude? Like nowadays, I guess like you're not as into like the bodybuilding world or this and that. Like obviously you work out a lot. Like what does it do for you?
I think it's just mental health, to be honest. Yeah. Especially as someone that works from home and I'm always inside. Like if I'm editing inside all day, there's a massive difference. If I go to the gym in the morning, say if I like hit a nice push workout, have a sauna, plunge in the morning, come home and work. Yeah. So much nicer than.
Is that like, the Gold's in WeHo? That has the ice bath?
No, it's like a private little spot that we go to. It's called Magnum Opus.
Magnum Opus.
Yeah.
Is it in WeHo?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the most incognito gym you've ever seen. Like we were going to Gold's.
Yeah.
And then Annika just drove by it one day. And we always like complain because Gold's was like kind of broken equipment, super busy all the time. So we're like, we want something that's like smaller, a little more inclusive, like
cleaner
or exclusive. Yeah, cleaner, like better machines.
Yeah.
So we found this place, and it looks like a retail store. Like it's right on Santa Monica Boulevard. It looks like a retail. You wouldn't know it's a gym, really.
Yeah.
And then we joined specifically because they had an outdoor gym.
Yeah.
Like they said, like their parking lot is their gym. It looks
pretty, yeah.
And it's part of it. It's only part of it. So there's inside still.
Okay.
And then we joined, and then they expanded and built like a cold plunge. They built saunas. They built like a whole other gym next door that they expanded to. So it's been awesome. But yeah, I feel like fitness in general is just mental health. To be honest, it like keeps my head on straight. Like keeps me motivated.
Just your day to day stuff.
And I feel so good. Yeah. Just that dopamine hit. You get that. And it's just.
It's with clients and stuff. It's really hard to get that discipline just to go, but once you're in it, like you just have this like intrinsic feeling that I gotta go, like we're doing this today, no matter how shitty I feel. And then you always feel good after. Like there's not one time that I've got done with a run or a hike or a lifting session that was like, I regret that. Like zero.
I feel like you have to be consistent too, because like there's been times where I get busy traveling and maybe I don't go for like a week or two. And it's like leg day and I'm like, I don't even want to go to the gym like at all. But then if I'm consistent, like leg day 4 times, like in 4 weeks, whatever, if I'm like super consistent week after week, and then like that 5th leg day comes around, I'm like, let's fucking go. Gonna max out today.
What's your favorite fitness movement?
I would probably say incline dumbbell press.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Let's do some incline dumbbell press.
Yeah, we might have to. I love that. It's great.
Why?
How about you?
When I was competing in powerlifting, it was deadlifting. Just ripping a huge weight off the ground, right? That's good.
Yeah.
It used to be... I'm really into kettlebells right now.
Yeah, I did see that on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Flowing like crazy.
I love it. In terms of creativity... like doing it with like a 30-40 pound kettlebell and just like moving with it wherever it goes and figuring out some creativity with it. Also kettlebells instead of dumbbells, like when you do pushing, right, it's one motion. Lateral raises, one motion. Overhead, one motion. Like your shoulders and your body, like it's supposed to go everywhere. And the one thing that a kettlebell does, it allows you to go in any movement, right? And so it forces you to be in positions that you're not normally in, and your body adapts to it. And then the creativity of it, just looks cool. I'll just mess around with the kettlebell for 2-3 hours, and if I'm frustrated or anything like that, right now it's that.
For sure.
It's in terms of not just fitness but creativity. Like I'll fuck around with it, but the next day I'll be so sore.
So functional too, right?
So functional,
compared to a bench press.
But I love a good bench press too.
It's true. I know. I had a point where I did try to do more like movement based, like get the body moving. You're not just bench pressing and pressing. But
I went to the On It gym in Dallas. Have you been?
I haven't.
And I've never experienced anything like it, dude. Like they work out so differently. Like steel maces, clubs, kettlebells. They have classes like that. All primal movements.
You're just so sore after. Completely different stuff.
Yeah. But like it's just so uncommon to like the LA fitness world.
Yeah, true.
Right. Everyone has their nice little gym fit on it. They're matching. They got their nice shoes. Their leggings match their sports bra. Like, I feel like a lot of people are intimidated by fitness in, I guess, maybe this area because of that. And over there, it's bare minimal. It's like you're like everyone in the gym's not wearing shoes. Imagine going in, everyone's not wearing shoes. In the class. No one's wearing shoes. Everyone has like their shirts off, this and that. Super kind. There's no like I'm better than you type of deal. And you get that a lot out here.
It is way different.
You get that a lot out here. And but there's also some of the fittest motherfuckers out here. So like
I know. That's like, I think that's much more like community aspect versus like
out here.
Just like LA. It's maybe some snobbiness in the gym or whatever.
But I love it out here. The people, at least my circle, in terms of gym space, in terms of podcasting or bartending or anything like that, like I truly believe to be happy and healthy, you have to have like a good tribe out here.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have that? Like you work a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's one thing that I don't have that has been hard.
Yeah.
I feel like is not having like a solid tribe, because my buddies, like my close friends, are obviously in Canada.
Yeah.
And so and then I work all the time. So yeah, that's one thing. Being in LA, it's been like I have a buddy that actually came from that I met on Instagram that we both moved to LA. Yeah. And now he lives in WeHo. So like we train sometimes, but like I don't have like a tight group at all in LA, which is something, it feels weird.
If you ever want to hang out, bro, we'll do it. I'm serious.
Take me into the tribe.
Yeah. Dude, we run these mountains and it's the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing, because there's no one on these mountains, and you look at, we'll go night runs too, and you just see all of LA and it's just the lights. Yeah, that's dope. And you're like, wow, we're so small, but like no one's doing this, you know, and you just get to share this experience with another human, and you're just talking and just moving your body. Yeah. It's similar to working out with a partner, but a way more primal standpoint, you know? Yeah.
I feel like that is a big mental health thing. Like I was talking with fitness, is just like being with other people and doing shit like that, for sure. Yeah.
What are you most excited for in your life right now?
What am I most excited for? Honestly, at the moment is, I think, going back to Canada and just seeing family and friends, to be honest.
Is it hard being out here, like away from your family and stuff?
It's hard, but it's not. With my job, like I'm busy traveling and working a lot. And like I do have buddies at work. Obviously, the guys I work with are my friends, but they're all in Orange County, which is pretty far. So it's not like we can chill all the time.
So do they send you a lot of work in terms of just like, here's the video, edit it?
Not as much. No.
Okay, no.
Most. That was probably more my first year there, like 2020, 2021.
So now you record everything?
Now I do everything for Happy Dad. Yeah, so pretty much everything Happy Dad related, I'm filming.
Oh, so you're the Happy Dad guy?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I'm filming, editing. And I mean, it's an alcohol company and it's all parties and events, so it's a lot, but no, it's been good. I'm excited for that too.
They have multiple of you for different.
Yeah. So when I started, Happy Dad wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't created yet, so it was just pretty much full send NELK.
Isn't it crazy to see that it just blow up like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
You were there from the very beginning.
Yeah, I know, it is crazy to see. Yeah. It's crazy to see the change just from like, there was like 5 of us or 6. The weird thing is that we've blown up so much, but then our team is also like
expanded like crazy,
downsized almost.
Oh,
the editing team.
Okay.
The company has grown like crazy. Like we have like 100 Happy Dad employees or some shit, which is crazy. But
it's a lot.
Yeah. When we first started, there was like 7 we had like 7 editors or something, like videographer editors, or like 6 of us, and we all kind of did everything. And then as time went, we moved out of the house, went to an office. The team kind of split up to like, I'll take over Happy Dad, you take over Full Send, you do this. And then we kind of cut ties with people that we like didn't need as much, but now it's like just a tight knit crew, and we just pump content out.
Yeah. Do you think you're faster now
at editing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Yeah. I think I understand the program much more to like be as fast as possible, but there's also like the perfectionism that's like that like I can't, if my boss is like, yo, we just need a quick edit, that happens every time. It's like, just a quick recap. You were there for a couple hours, like just quick recap, get that out tomorrow. And then I'll go home and be like, okay, quick recap. Like
hours.
Yeah, I'll take way too much time. Like you'll chop it all down, and then it's like take another day doing like effects and color, and it's a process. Right?
It's like it's your work, so you hard. Really care about it.
Exactly.
So you put it out there. Do you know who Kevin O'Leary is?
Yes.
From Shark Tank.
Yeah.
So he was in an interview the other day, or at least I saw an Instagram clip of it, and someone asked him like, what degree should someone get if they're going to school to be financially well off or most important in society? And he was like, 10 years ago it would be an engineering degree, because like everyone was going to make new products, this and that, blah blah. Yep. And it's like pretty guaranteed. But he was like, the people I paid the most money are my editors and content creators for me. He was like, the creative space, the editing space, the videography space. And I wouldn't have said that 10 years ago.
Yeah. I think I did see that on Instagram somewhere. Yeah. But yeah, no, I agree. It's been, I think I saw that a year or two ago too, saying like the next couple of years is going to be.
That wasn't always the narrative though. No. Like it was very, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like, it was kind of looked down upon in the beginning. It's like, oh, you're just video recording. What are you doing with that? Yeah. Did you ever feel that way? Like, did you ever get that, I guess, like, narrative in your head at all?
Like looking down on it, kind of?
Yeah, from like that, from other people, or did you even care at all?
Yeah, I think it's like people kind of, it's kind of like goes back to like free work, like people expecting free work or something, like exposure. Like that was a big thing. It's like, oh, I have 500,000 followers, like come film this for free. Yeah. Like, you know, but it's like, I got to pay my bills. Yeah. It's still a business. Yeah. But yeah, no, I definitely think it has changed a little bit, especially now with short form content, like taking social media by storm. Yeah, it's like everything now is just like short form content, and like the clips are like super edited where people are like, oh, I need an editor. Yeah. So yeah, I think back in the day it was definitely a little more like people trying to weasel free work, or like, you know, looking down on it a little bit, like it's not really worth as much as it is. But now it's like such a demand for it. Yeah, that I think people are starting to realize like, oh, maybe I should hire an editor for like, you know, whatever a year.
What's your advice to, I guess, the people who want to do what you want to do? Or what's your advice to the people who want to do what you're currently doing right now? Like, how do you get into it? Like, what's the first step?
I know.
What's the first step, Matt?
First step is just building your portfolio. So like just, I mean, make an iPhone video, or if you have the budget, buy a camera, but it's just making those videos, I think, for fun. So you have to like find out what you're passionate about, what you want to do. Like maybe you want to film fitness, or maybe you want to go travel to the Bahamas and make a sick video. But yeah, definitely building that staple like portfolio, just your first couple pieces, having that solid piece that you can now be like, okay, here's my portfolio, hire me for this. I say that's the first step, 100%. Yeah. Okay. You gotta build a portfolio, and then build from there.
What was your first paid gig?
First paid gig. So I think it was when I was in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Australia is where I first started to freelance, because that's like where I made the transition to making my own fitness content to filming for someone else. Yeah. Were you working another job ever before editing full time? Yes. Yeah. So I was working at the town of Oakville, which is just like a municipality, and I was doing snow plowing. Oh, so you were snow plowing? So I was working for the town, for the city. Oh, no way. And I snow plowed. I did roads and work, so I filled potholes. I cut grass. You're serious? I did everything. Yeah, I emptied garbage. Like I worked for the town of Oakville for like 6 years, I think. So that's like physical labor compared to like labor. Yeah, straight. Versus like total opposite. Yeah, the total opposite. Yeah, I made a big career shift, because I think I was always a creative. Yeah. And like deep down, like I always made skateboard videos. Like when I was in high school, I got into graffiti. Yeah. So I was like spray painting shit. I was like always drawing my book. But I guess I didn't really see it as a career. I saw it more as like, oh, it's just my hobby and my passion. Yeah. Like I just like doing this. It's like you can't make money making videos. At the time, there was no Instagram. Like YouTube just started in 2006, I think, or whatever, when I was like made my first skateboard video. Yeah. But yeah, I never really pitched it as like a career. So that's why I got into firefighting. Yeah. Because in high school, I was like, I don't know what I want to do, but like I love making videos, but that's not a career, you know? Did you ever feel the pressure of, for me, I didn't know what I wanted to do until like after college, bro. Yeah. No. And like everyone's like, you got to know what you need to know what you need to do now. And I was like, well, I think I want to be a lawyer, engineer, but like in my head, I was like, I only want to be that because everyone else said I should want to be that. Yeah. You know? No, yeah, I feel that for sure. I think that's why I went into firefighting, because my buddy Ben that I was talking about, we did so much shit together that he was like, oh, I want to go to school for firefighting. And I was like, sounds pretty dope. Like I'm into fitness. Yeah. Like at the time it was great. And I definitely don't regret doing it, because it pushed me like physically, pushed me mentally. Yeah. It was dope going. We went to Texas for 8 months and did like a firefighting year there, where we did like an EMS course, did like a 3-month fast boot camp style like fire course. Yeah. So we did like 6 a.m. PT, and like I was super into it. It was fun. But then I went out to Australia right after that. Yeah. And that's when I was like making my own YouTube videos, and I was like, wow, it's pretty dope, like doing this. And then coming back to my first paid gig is when I met up with a fitness YouTuber. Yeah. Friesma. He actually, at the time, like... Friesma. His name is Friesma, yeah. Okay. So I think at the time he had like 60,000 on YouTube. Okay. But Australia had like such a small scene compared to the US, because they're like just a island across the world. But he was like... I think he knew Nabil and like knew some of the bigger guys, because they all came out to Australia, and somehow he connected with them. I don't know. Sure. But I think that's how I knew him. And then we ended up going to the same gym, and I was making content. And I DM'd him already when I got there and was like, yo, I make videos, like, it'd be sick to make something together.
Yeah.
And then I think it was one of his buddies was like, at the time he was asking his buddy, like, do you know any guys that do video? Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, I've seen this guy in our gym, which was me. Mm-hmm. Like, I just showed up from Canada and started filming in the gym. I've seen him filming, like, whatever, blah, 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 you should reach out. And then, like, I ended up connecting with him. And then he saw that I already DM'd him, like, a while ago.
Yeah.
So we met up and we just started working together.
Mm-hmm.
And then initially he just wanted, like, a gym edit for, like, his YouTube video. Mm-hmm. So he'd make his whole video, he'd edit his whole video. And then I would just make, like, a 45 to 1 minute section of just, like, his workout, whatever. Try to make it, like, a cinematic little edit. And that's kind of, like, what I first got into filming for. So I was like, oh, this is dope.
But what was that feeling like when you, I guess that first paid gig? Was it like, oh, I could do this, like, for a living? Like, was it quite there yet?
It wasn't quite there, but yeah, it was definitely the first taste. It's like, I think it was super cheap. I think it was like $150. That was just like
for like one video.
For one video. So like I would pull up. We started working together on a weekly basis. Where I was just like, pull up to the gym. We trained together anyways, and I'd be like, I'd film this whole video. And then the first time is like we filmed it, and he's like, I need this video like today. So we went, filmed it, and then edited it in 4 hours, like right afterwards, and then put it in his YouTube video. And then he was like, okay, pretty dope. So then we started working together on like a pretty much like weekly basis, where I would do like help him out with his YouTube videos. Yeah. But it wasn't. Yeah, it definitely wasn't the most like sustainable, just because it was like I was basically doing very cheap, free work, but I was also working at the gym. Yeah. So I was kind of balancing both.
How do you determine? I guess I struggle with this in terms of personal training in the very beginning. It's like, what rate do you choose? Yeah. Because there's, I don't know, like, for example, like Chelsea Handler's personal trainer charges $500 a session, right?
Who's this?
Chelsea Handler's personal trainer. I forgot his name, like Ben Bruno. Okay. I think it's around $300 to $500 a session. So that's 1 hour of his time. Like that's a lot of money. Yeah. Right. And it could be the same quality work as a trainer at an LA Fitness, right? Mm. Charging $30, $40 an hour. Yeah. I'm like, okay, so what's going on here? What's going on here, right? Yeah. And that has to do a lot with service-based businesses. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I guess, how did you, in the very beginning, determine rates?
Yeah, so that is a tough thing. I feel like that's like the most common, probably, like business question videographers have when you're starting. Is like, how much do I charge?
Any service,
yeah, especially. But yeah, no, that's tough. You kind of just got to figure it out. I mean, you could do like the basic research and be like, this
is industry standard.
Yeah, industry standard for Los Angeles. It's like, what's the rate? And like, you can even go ahead. I think when I first moved here, I did this because I did like the difference between Burlington, Ontario, Canada, where I lived, and LA is like massive. Yeah, like what you get paid in LA is just more, just because living there is
a lot more expensive.
Yeah, a lot more expensive, right? So I didn't really realize that at first. I'm like, start charging the same amounts. Like, came to LA,
and the Canadian dollar is a lot weaker than the US dollar, right? Yeah. And so it's probably hard psychologically.
Yeah, psychologically,
I was like, is this right?
I was like, I'm charging like $300, but that's like $450 conversion. I don't know. But no.
Did that go through your head though?
It did, yeah.
The conversion stuff?
A little bit, yeah. Because I was like, because at the time, like when I first came over, it's like I was still Canadian for the most part. Like I only had a Canadian bank account and everything. So like I still was converting a lot of things, like, but which sucked for rent and everything. It's like you pay US, but from a Canadian bank account, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, just because it's a lot, you're paying way more.
30% more, pretty much. But no, yeah, I think you just got to do your basic research on the area and what it is. Yeah. If you're just starting out, it's like, I mean, you're going to be a lot lower, right? That's when we talked about free work. Yeah. And then slowly work your way up. Like some people would do a wedding for like $150, $100 when you're just starting, like your first one, like just to get that experience. And then after a while, like if you feel like you're established, you can just slowly increase your rates. But I feel like it's also demand too. Yeah. So like if you're super busy, you can up your rates. You know, and if it's kind of like the trainers.
You're probably confident in yourself because you got so many people wanting to work with you that you're like,
and I feel like you have to get a no sometimes. Like if you're dishing off like your invoice for $500 and every single time they're like,
quick yes,
they're like, yep, sounds good, I'll get that paid. But like you need to mix in at least a no in there somewhere just to know that you're at like a good level, you know? Or else you're just pretty much underpaid.
I think that's a good indicator, right? If you get no no's, it's like you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, you need to mix in a couple no's. If there's a couple no's in there, then you know you're at like a right level. If you get too many no's, then
you're like, tone back a little bit.
Maybe tone back your prices a
also,
bit.
It's like clientele too, though, right?
Yeah.
Because like some people can afford way more and they value it because it's their time and they, I don't know.
Depends what industry you're in for sure. Like if you're working for luxury hotels, then obviously you could have a different price range than someone that's doing social media content for someone's podcast.
How's working with friends? Because like they're technically your friends, right?
Yeah,
a lot of them, and it's hard to at least from my experience, it's hard to work with friends sometimes.
Yeah,
because technically some of your friends are your bosses.
Yeah, that is tough. That is kind of
like where's the line?
Yeah, so when I very first started, it was Kyle and Jesse.
Yeah,
they were like kind of running the show, right?
Yeah.
But it was right when I started, maybe a couple months, like 2 or 3 months later, they hired John and Sam, which are two kind of business moguls in the LA space, brothers.
Yeah.
And they took over like the business operations to make it more like a legit business, right? Yeah. So it's like if I wanted to come and talk to them about my role at the office, you know, it's like I go to talk to them.
Okay.
And it's like I'm not. So it's I feel like they kind of broke that up on purpose because it's like. If I went and talked to Kyle, like, hey, Kyle, I want to raise or something, you know, it's like you were saying, it's kind of weird to talk to your friend and be like, let's talk business for a sec, you know? So I feel like I came in at a time where it was like, they just implemented that. So kind of took that away.
Yeah. I think that's smart.
It was very smart.
Yeah.
It was a great way. That's how they expanded their business to do everything that they're doing today. But I feel like it much more legitimized, made it a little more corporate, you know, like a little more like an actual job.
Yeah, versus, and they got legit space now, not at a house and everything like that.
Move out of the house, get an office, build a company. Yeah.
For, I guess, rewinding for you, when you were building your own business and you kind of went full-time, you went full-time before you joined Full Send, right?
Yeah.
What was that feeling like from going to working for the city to just making your own YouTube videos, and then you're like, oh, I'm working for myself now?
Yeah.
Like, I could determine my rates. I have the ability to make as much moves and on my own dime, my own time, whenever. Like, was that what was that like?
It felt great. Yeah. I kind of missed the freelance life a little bit.
Yeah.
Because having that freedom. Yeah. So when I was working, having that freedom is amazing. I mean, just being able to travel and do whatever. Yeah. And like book your own time and book your time off, whatever, is great. But yeah, when I was working at the town of Oakville, I was also at one point when I first came back from Australia, I was straddling both. So I'd work shift work at Oakville, and then I would do video shoots whenever I can on off days, on weekends, whatever. And then I'd always be editing. So at one point, Annika's like, you're working 24/7, like legit, you need to make the jump at some point. Yeah. But for me, it wasn't an instance where it's like, oh, you have a $100,000 job 9 to 5 that you have to quit to go full time on your dreams. For me, I was working seasonally, so I was on like a 6-month contract.
Because of snow.
Yeah, because of snow, and I was working. Yeah, I think it was just winters or something like that. Okay. So for me, it was kind of like I had a deadline almost that like, oh, my job's going to stop here, so I need to. But it was great at the time. I was building my business, where I was having to decline jobs because I was working, and it was to a point where I was like sitting at my job, like I'm going home to like work my other job, like the job I actually like, and I'm like feel like I'm wasting my time, like just sitting here. I'm just sitting in like a truck, like getting ready to go out and like do something, but like
were you like miserable there? Like you didn't like it?
I wasn't miserable, but yeah, it was like it just felt like a waste of time sometimes because I'm just like taking a 30-minute lunch sitting in a truck with a bunch of dudes and we're just talking, everyone's smoking darts and drinking coffee, and I'm like, oh,
smoking darts
and drinking Timmy's, and I'm like, all right, boys.
That's so Canadian of you, bro.
I know. But it was like that. It was like I felt like I was just sitting there like kind of wasting my time away, and then I was like waiting to go home to like actually do what I wanted to do.
Is that voice in your head, do you have that voice that it's like, hey dude, like you need to stop this and you need to go pursue like this thing that you really enjoy? Like, do you have that voice did you have that voice in your head at the time? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it was like it's just scary to make that job. I was in a really good situation because at the time I think Annika moved back to LA for school. She was doing like her 1 year here or whatever. So it was just me, and I was living at her parents' house. So it was like my rent was like
non-existent almost. Like I paid like a couple $100 a month.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to build my business.
Yeah.
Stop my other job.
Yeah.
And then like my expenses are super low right now, like go all in. So that's what happened. And it was just like super grateful for that. Cause I was like, yeah, it's the best timing. It was like, I'm not paying, like if I was paying LA rent and had to do that, I'd be like,
no chance.
It's a little sketchy. Yeah. But I was just in a really good situation where I could do that. And
in terms of like chasing after your dreams and stuff, there's a lot of people who have dreams that never take the leap for it. And I guess, why should people pursue the vision that they have in their head of themselves, of like what they're what they believe they want to do or could do?
I just think it's like you don't want to regret, you know. I feel like there's like that quote, I forget what it is, but it's the bill of regret is much higher than that if you were to do it, you know. So it's like you don't want to always just be that guy that's just thinking like, oh I want to do this, or I wish I did that, I wish I did this.
I don't know what Canada is like, but I'll go home to my hometown and my high school, like serving busboy job, like I'll go and have like a dinner there once in a while with some family, and then I'll see some of my high school classmates still there. And that was, you look back at that now, that's more over 11, 12 years ago. And I'm like, like they never, they never took the risk. I know. Even small risks. And it makes me think about other people sometimes a lot. I'm just like, wow, like their day-to-day's been the same for the last 11, 12 years. Yeah. And
I think about that too. Sometimes. Yeah, it is a weird thing.
It motivates the fuck out of me though when I see it. I'm just like, I don't want to be that person. Yeah. This current stage I am in my life right now. Yeah. It's like talking about, you know, how you're like, keep growing those skills. I think staying the same as you currently are for the rest of your life is scary.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. It's definitely
like, let's get better at shit.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has like that deep down feeling, right? That they're just like kind of scared, like, like, well, can I do it? Should I do it? Like, what if I don't do it? You know? Gotta do it.
Is there anything right now that you're like, I need to do this? Like deep down, like I need to get this shit, like one day, like get
one
it done.
One day do it. Yeah. Not really. I think maybe just like building my personal brand. That's something that I've been wanting to do.
Yeah. What is Relly's World?
So, well, it's a nickname, Relly.
Okay.
For my name, Ellis. It's a long story, but Relly is the nickname, and then I made Relly's World. Okay. It relates back to skateboarding because Brandon Biebel, who's a professional skateboarder, back in the day he had a thing called Biebel's World. That was like a vlog. It was like a vlog before vlogs were a thing, where he would just film like his day. So way back in the day, I filmed on my iPod Touch and uploaded to YouTube. Yeah, I'd film on the Touch. Yeah. And then there's a button to like upload direct to YouTube, like a raw video. Oh wow. So I just upload all these raw clips of like partying and like doing random shit and just call it Relly's World.
Is there still those clips up there?
Yeah. Wow. But I think they're private.
Okay.
For personal reasons. Yeah. But they're still out there just to check back every now and again. Yeah. But I think that's the thing. I don't like, I've been thinking about it and like talking about it, but it's like, you know, I just got to do it. It's just filming content, right? That's the hardest
for yourself.
Thing. For myself. Yeah. And it's hard because I'm so busy with work. And so
what would your content be these days?
That's the ongoing discussion. I have a list of like ideas and things I want to do, but just got to do them, right? Can't
just make lists. What do you want to be known for your personal brand?
I think just a dope creative. Yeah. I mean, someone that is telling a dope story, whether that's like in the influencer creator space, like working with big names, doing that kind of thing, or if it's just making dope commercial work. I love doing commercial work as well. So just to do that and I guess be an inspiration to younger creatives, to beginner filmmakers.
Yeah. Would you ever do like courses and stuff for people?
I don't know about courses. I mean, maybe like a way down the line, like a mentorship or something, but not like anything big, like a course or anything. Probably just like if there was like a tight knit group of people that were like, oh, I want to do what you're doing. Like, tell me how. Yeah. You know, obviously I'd help people out for free, but
I think the mentorship thing's really important because I think it speeds up the growth curve. Like I think it's 100%. It's do you follow Alex Hormozi at all?
A little bit. I don't really follow him too much, but I watch his stuff.
His stuff. He has this big thing called ignorance tax. The reason why you're not a millionaire, the reason why you're not whatever you want to be, is because you don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
Right. And so like the best way to get there is find someone who is there and tell you, like, he always says, I want to have the results without the scars.
Yeah.
You know, because there's so many people out there who go through some bullshit. When if you just found someone who did it, and they'd be like, "Hey, skip all that stuff."
No, I feel that for sure.
Yeah,
yeah. I feel like there's it's just investing in yourself, right? You just gotta. I feel like there's a lot of like maybe some people think scammy stuff out there where it's like, oh, I don't want to buy this guy's course.
That looks scammy.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to buy this guy's course. Like, how do I know this is legit? But if you do find someone that's like a legit in your space doing what you want to do and they will mentor you. Yeah. Sometimes those people don't offer like a paid thing. So I mean that could even be just a DM.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Like their time is worth more than your free time.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So it's still a sacrifice for them to bring you on. Right.
So because the people that are mentoring you are super busy, obviously doing what they do too. Yeah. So it's like to take time out of their day to help you and talk to you.
I guess what's you obviously have a little bit of like the art of the DM. Because you would reach out to people to like, hey, can I work with you, this and that? Like, what should someone or a creator, I guess, in your own space, you're an editor, say in a DM or an email to someone who they want to work with?
I think it's just, in general, just kind of playing it cool for the most part. I mean, not
uber excited.
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like that's also going back to like working with celebrities. Is like you have to kind of like not be the fan.
So I'm a normal person.
I'm a normal person.
You're a normal person.
Yeah. That's kind of how I've always lived. I mean, working with big people, it's like you can't be the fanboy that's like, oh my God, that's Kyle from NELK.
Have you ever fanboyed from anyone that you've seen recently or at all?
Actually once.
Like deep down?
A deep down fanboy. Obviously didn't show it too much. But it was a super weird one too. It's not something people would think, but it was Paul Rodriguez. I don't
even know who that is.
Professional skateboarder.
Okay.
That's why.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we were in Vegas and P-Rod's a short form. He was in the same hotel as us.
Oh, no.
So like I rolled out and he walked right by me and I was like, hold up. It's like a guy I watched growing up as a kid. So I was like, such a mind fuck to be like, and then he started talking to like John, the guy I work with, and they're like all friends. So I went up and introduced myself and I was like, damn,
this is sick.
This is dope.
Deep down.
Yeah. But then I'll hang out with like Donald Trump and be like,
oh yeah, you got to meet the president.
It's Trump, yeah.
That's crazy.
Which is dope, but like,
how was that experience?
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's different for sure. It's like take your social security, like deep background check, and
oh shit,
yeah, they like take you through the nines. Yeah, everybody. I went to the Mar-a-Lago. It's pretty dope.
Wow.
Yeah, but he's cool. I mean, he's a cool dude.
Yeah,
he's exactly like he is on interviews. It's like, oh, you guys are great.
It's probably polarizing to talk about. Like so many people, you just say things like that because Bryson golfed with him a good amount of times, and he was like, "I can't believe you're a fan of blah, blah, blah." I was like, "Yo, I just golfed with the guy. Like, I didn't give you any political incentives at all. Like, I just like
that's like me too. Like, I'm a Canadian. Like, I'm not big into politics really at all. So it's like I post a photo with them, and some people would be like, "Supporting Trump."
Yeah.
But I don't.
Dude, internet people are wild. Like those keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
They'd be saying some whack ass shit. And I was like, what the heck? Like I have a small YouTube channel and the amount of people who just will like say some stuff. I did something about tipping, the tipping culture in the US. And like so many people had their opinions about it. And I was like, whoa.
I know.
Yo, wild.
That is the crazy thing about creating content as well, is that like you got to be ready to take the internet.
It definitely affects a lot of people. Like a lot of my friends in the fitness space, who especially girls, and they're really big creators, and they look at the comments and it really affects them. I'm like, yo, I don't know.
It can be tough for sure.
Yeah. The one person who I fanboyed over a lot was Izzy Stylebender.
Okay, UFC,
UFC guy. Yeah, that's it. And that was the only one.
Yeah. He's legit too.
Yeah, he's
dope.
But
I wasn't a huge UFC fan before.
Oh, really?
Before NELK.
Okay.
Like I was bigger back in the day, like GSP, because he was huge in Canada.
Yeah.
That was like the big days back in the day.
He's
but then
still jacked, bro.
Yeah, I saw him recently in Miami.
Yeah.
He's like,
he still parties hard,
a deadly weapon,
dude.
Yeah, deadly weapon. He's with like a MILF rocket.
But that's dope. It's so funny.
Maybe his wife. I don't know.
Definitely not. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Guy's still wheeling and dealing.
I have a lot. I have a few friends who like were his girlfriends back in the day, which is hilarious.
GSP.
And so I would hear all these stories.
Guy definitely wheeled pretty hard back in the day.
Oh yeah,
still does.
But he does his ice plunges every morning. He works out hard. Yeah. It's crazy to see the lifestyles of different people because like it's like, do I want to live that way? Like, would I want to live that way?
Yeah.
Like back to the partying thing.
Like
I was
GSP, like or
anybody.
just like nightclub life.
Yeah, well, I don't know, not even nightclub life. Like some people. So I used to work at Soho House downtown. Have you been there?
Not downtown.
Not the downtown one. No. So when like Kanye and Kim like had their like breakup or whatever, he was living there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but he was living there, and I was the bartender at like the rooftop, and he was just living there, and I wouldn't drive. I would I had to make cocktails for every person staying in the hotel. Like I would just knock on their door, and I passed by his room and I just hear him just like yelling and like all these problems like he was talking about, and I was just like being in the
wild.
Yeah, I was like being in the spot. Like I don't know if I would ever want to be that way. Like it doesn't sound happy, you know. And then like there's, for example, like John Mayer or Ed Sheeran, like a big guitar people who I look up to. Yeah. They just go to Montana for like 6 months and they just like chill. I was like, I kind of get that.
Yeah.
Like I
just decompress.
Like that sounds nice.
Yeah.
You know, just being with nature and like playing your guitar and writing. Yeah. Like, I don't know, like to the point of complete financial freedom. I was like, what would you do with your time? Like, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, that is tough.
What would you do?
If I had complete financial freedom.
Yeah. Anything, like what would you do on your day to day without like worry of any monetary things?
Like, and no job.
Yeah, like whatever you want to do.
Damn, I think I would just travel a lot, work out a lot. I think I would just go hard on like the biohacking health life. I don't know, I've been hard on that for some reason lately, but just like plunge in the morning, still stay dialed. I think that's the biggest thing is you have to stay locked in, especially if you have full financial freedom and like it's so easy to go off the rails with partying and all that. I think I would take the other route where it's like go hard on health, have a sick whip, travel a lot. And I think I would obviously still film and edit. I think just making travel videos.
What does traveling do for you?
Traveling is just, I just love experiencing different places, especially places of beauty. Yeah. Like I just went to Italy recently and I was like, wow, it's a little bit nicer than
Florence is beautiful, bro. It's one of my favorite cities. Food's great.
I haven't been to Florence, but
okay. What places in Italy did you go?
We did the Amalfi Coast, which is very nice.
I haven't been to the Amalfi Coast yet.
Yeah, we did that. We did, what else did we do? What's it called? Assisi.
Okay, Assisi.
Yeah. So it's like farmland, right? Yeah. Like we did a wedding there, so it was pretty cool. But
yeah, it's very different here. If no one's really experienced, like I just got back from Japan last year.
Ooh,
a big culture shock, dude.
Yeah, like just the history and stuff too. Like being from Canada. Canada is so new. Like even being in America, America is so much older.
Yeah.
Like the universities and colleges here, like they're just so much older than Canadian ones.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like when you look at like the history of like schools and like Harvard.
Yeah.
It's all so much older than Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a rich history in the East Coast, for sure. You could tell the difference. Like, it looks there's different worlds in the U.S. Yeah. Like, you go to East Coast versus, like, Texas versus, like, the Midwest. Like, it's totally different. And Canada's a lot smaller, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, West Coast people here, I feel like they're a lot softer than Canadians because, like, there's no, like, dude, it's the same. It's sunny and, like, 75 in mid-December out here.
Christmas time, trees up.
I just got back from Montana. It was 13 degrees Fahrenheit there.
Yeah.
So what's that? Negative something degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
Like
it's like negative 10 maybe. How was Japan?
Dude, so you'd go into a restaurant, right? And always bow down to you. They're very respectful, and there's no trash anywhere. Like, no trash. Yeah. Everyone's so particular. Like, there's no stealing. There's no robbery. I didn't see one homeless person. The public transportation is efficient on time. Like, within seconds. Like, it's not off. Like, if it says going to arrive at 1:06, it'll be gone by 1:07, the train. Yeah. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, what's something the U.S. is doing wrong? But it's like, that's insane.
I know.
Like, it's uber efficient. Like, you see the subway station, and it's filled with people. 1 second. 30 seconds later, no one's in there. I'm just like, I didn't know how to travel by myself really for a little bit. So I look around, I'm just like, where did everyone go? Yeah. Like, they knew where they were going. They knew they had to hit that train right away. Yeah. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a different world.
Everyone always eats a lot less too. The portion sizes are super small. Italy too. Italy too.
Yeah. I guess the U.S. is just known for a couple of big portions, but
yeah. Well, everywhere besides LA, dude, there's a lot of fat people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Obesity is crazy.
Yeah. Do you have like hip problems and stuff for sitting all day?
Not hip. I've been having more neck.
Neck.
Not really problems. I mean, I'm just like tight muscles.
Just tight.
Or those stretched muscles, I guess.
Yeah.
Just the neck from being forward all the time.
Yeah.
Just always that one spot. Like, the spot right. I'm sure a lot of people get it. Like right in between the shoulder blade and the spine.
Yeah. Do you have a standing desk?
No, but that's what I want eventually. Just that right now I have a double desk because girlfriend and I both work from home.
Oh yeah.
So we have a double, but eventually
get
a nice standing desk. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the move.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to solve that problem for people who sit down all day for a long period of time. I guess obviously working out helps, but there's so many people who develop all these problems. Mm-hmm. Like in Japan, I realized my mobility shit because we'd go into a restaurant and sit crisscross applesauce on the floor with no shoes, and I'd be like, I'm in pain right now.
Yeah, it hurts to do this.
Yeah. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, why am I in pain? I'm a fit young man, dude. Like,
there's like a 70-year-old lady beside you, like just dialed in, legs crossed.
There was 80-year-old guys running out there, like just chilling, bro. And I was like, I didn't see one fat person.
I know. It's America's just like, we have it too easy over here.
Yeah, legit. The comfortability is insane.
Yeah, but I don't know. Desk. The only thing I try to do is just like dial in your chair setup. There's very expensive chairs you can get, but just making sure your armrests are like perfect.
Is that very woo-woo, or is it they do something? The chairs do something?
I think it's just your posture.
Okay.
Just making sure your posture is on point.
Yeah.
It's so easy to slouch, right? And just be like...
Yeah. Products are insane, because like I don't understand prices of products sometimes. Like similar to art. Like you'll look at an art piece, right? And why is that shit $1 million? Versus you look at a really expensive chair. I was like, why is this chair $10K?
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Like, please explain.
Those materials are not $10K.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like sometimes where you get to a point where you're selling a brand name.
Yeah.
Like like a Balenciaga t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's like, sure, it's organic, probably cotton or whatever it is made out of, but I bet you it's like, it gets to a point where everything else is profit, right? Like how can it?
Yeah. Are you a material guy?
No, never was.
Okay.
But I would say I am more now because slightly of Annika's influence, my girlfriend.
Hi,
she just got me more. Yeah, she just got me more.
Shouts out Annika.
Yeah.
Miss you, friend. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I wish she could come, but she couldn't stop by today.
Cool.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. We'll do like a hangout sometime.
Yeah. But cool. Yeah, she just got me more into like clothing, I think.
Yeah.
And then she's much more materialistic than I am, so.
Yeah. Hey, you look good, bro.
Hey, thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
You ready to get this workout in?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, dude. Everyone,
of course.
Where can everyone find you?
Instagram is @RelliesWorld.
Yeah. Oh, can you finish that real quick? Well, finish the Rellies World.
The backstory of what it is.
Yeah.
Well,
it just had to do with that guy, but it's like your world, from what I understand.
Yeah. So he had Beeble's World, which is like his his world, his last name world. But yeah, essentially the same thing. It was just kind of like a vlog, like a raw moment vlog. Mm-hmm. But the Relly comes from when I was super skinny when I was younger, scrawny Ellis. So it was like Skrelly, and then Skrelly, and then Skrelly went to Skrell, and then to Rel, and to the Relly, and then. So I can never get Matt Ellis on anything because the name is so popular, which is brutal.
Yeah, I looked at Matt Ellis and I was like, you didn't show up.
Yeah.
On Google.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
Matt Ellis is just like, there's like 2 NHL players named Matt Ellis.
Yeah.
Like, it's a tough name to have. So
you just got a cool ass name, bro. Everyone wants it.
Or just a very basic name that everyone has. Not cool enough, to be honest.
Or you can look at that perspective too.
Yeah, it's a two-edged, double-edged sword.
Sick, dude. So everyone find out Rellies World. Do you still do freelance stuff or no?
Not really. I mean,
so if you can't work with him, guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like maybe I'll try to squeeze in something if I have like time off. Yeah,
definitely don't, probably.
But definitely don't hit me up.
Go check out his stuff, guys, and yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you next one. Thanks, brother.
Cheers.
Appreciate you.
Brute Seltzer.
Brute Seltzer.
Let's go, baby.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right,
let's go work out.